Hey
Hello.
everyone, we are live. Let me just adjust here. Welcome to episode 23 of Legends of Avantris. We are a homebrew, or rather we play in a homebrew setting of Avantris. We've been playing 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons for almost 2.5 years at this point now. It has, what are all the housekeeping things? We do, it's 5th edition, but we do a lot of homebrew. We do a lot of rules as fun and the like, so incorporate a lot of 4th edition, so just be mindful of that. Feel free to complain in the comments. What else?
Mature stream.
It's a mature stream. You should have a little notification, but this is a mature stream. We have a lot of cursings, a lot of penises in the maps, not like on screen. That would just be
No, not actual ones.
not actual ones. Just
Our DM is like the best artist in the world. So,
Follow us on Twitch.
yep.
so we like to play Find the Penis on the map.
Yep. So with that, we can talk about our giveaway. We have a giveaway, and I guess we'll have to all stop a couple times throughout the stream to remind people. But do you want to show your dice bag, Nikki?
Yeah, Scots will have to do it or somebody because I can't reach over there.
So we are giving away a custom dice bag similar to that one. It can look exactly like that if you want. As soon as we hit 200 followers on Twitch, so please spread the word. It'll be totally custom. You choose the exterior fabric, the interior fabric, and what patch. We have some Harry Potter stuff. We have all of the D&D class icons as well as the D&D logo. So whatever color, customize it however you want to play. And so that'll be a pretty great thing. So just tell, hey, thanks, Kira.
Oh, thanks, Kira.
Tell your friends, come follow, and they have a chance to win an awesome dice bag like that. We follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook is less important these days, but we're going to try to get on Instagram and join our Discord. A lot of fun. And with that, I think we can go around the table and introduce the players and the characters just super duper quick. We have Richie playing Rodek Stonehearth, a dwarf fighter. We have Scots playing Ganji Stormscale, a dragonborn cleric. We have Nikki playing Sylvie Flickerwicket, a gnome warlock, is what she is. Yeah. And then we have Kelsey playing Annulin Mossgrove, a wood elf ranger. And then we have Andy playing Vandris Truestrike, a high elf rogue. And so, And so with that, I think we can get into what happened last time so we can get just playing in the session. Last session, what happened? After you realize that your brilliant plan to poison Zaki actually paid off, and she died and she collapsed and tumbled down the mountain. You finally scaled to the peak of the volcano that sits at the center of Undertow Isle. It was then you finally saw King Krem's fortress. It was relatively lightly guarded. Through a little bit of sneakery and eavesdropping, you realized that the amount of chaos down in Gangplank, in no small part to your own shenanigans, as well as your friend Ratley's, things had become so unstable that most of the defense and the forces at the fortress had been sent down to Gangplank in order to keep the peace as relative as that is. Then you, with some quick thinking, rather than just kicking in the front door, despite what, that being Vandris's classic tactic of kicking in the
Wasn't me. Definitely not me.
kicking in the door, Ganji used Stone Shape, because that's overpowered as fuck, to create a door. Luckily, there was a storage room behind the stone walls, and they managed to get in that way. Through a little bit of sneakery and charming, they befriended temporarily, seemingly the cook of this band, and got a little bit of information, found out that King Krem was going a little nuts with all of the instability and resistance to his rule, and how cuckoo crazy things are. And there's the Great Fog of War there. And learning that there were basically crooks on either side of them, the lockjaw crooks on either side, they happened to take a little bit too long and get found by some guards. They just lured them all in one by one. It was like some 300 shit. Luring them all in, slaughtering them in the hallway under silence so no one heard. And then Sylvie had the quick thinking of shape-shifting herself via the Hat of Disguise into Orpheus, Radamanthus, the sorcerer, that is basically the mastermind of this whole arc, I guess. And after doing some great bluffing and deception and intimidation, they managed to get passage up to the second tower, the second floor of this keep, and that is where Avantris did a little bit of sneaking. It seemed like this tier had taken a big hit at some point. A lot of it had crumbled away, reinforced by iron bars and the like. And he unlocked one of the doors, and inside found a room filled with all of these pools with a large number of crocodilian creatures. These ones not humanoid. Swimming around in pools, running back and forth, but at the immediate, they did not seem to notice. And that is where we shall get started once I start my music here. So, there we go. To reiterate, the howling of the wind and the crashing of thunder, flashing of lightning is very much present in this hall. The whole thing is very damp from the rain is being blown in from the wind, not too far from you. Avantris, you are at the door, peeking ever so slightly into this room, a number of pools. You hear the splashing of crocodiles in and out of these pools as this kind of strange stench hits your nostrils, and a moisture hits your face, a little bit more dank than the moisture from the storm. As you look around, you can also kind of get this stench of rotting bits of flesh and bone that seems to have been left in from the feed of these crocodiles. You're not really sure what it is. And with that, what do you guys want to do?
I want to steal the crocodile.
Is this the room we're looking into?
Hold on, let me I'll just pull away the thing just for the... Yes, it is.
It's the full walking.
Did you just say you want to steal a crocodile?
I want to steal.
Yes.
I want to steal.
It's not nailed to the floor, which means I can take it.
Do we have tokens?
We do.
Oh yeah.
If we have tokens, that means it's probably possible that we could fight them, and maybe we don't do that thing.
Where we steal it?
Where we fight them.
I'm
And
with
kill,
Anderson,
and kill,
stealing it.
and kill all these cute crocodiles.
They're not that
Oh,
cute.
they're pretty cute.
They're not that cute.
How old are
I
they?
disagree.
For what I know, can I see?
It's just Avantris at the door right now.
Oh, okay.
Do I see anywhere else, like
They're
any
so
other
cute.
doors around the room
Look at
that
these
might maybe
cute-
a passage to another room?
Look at these cute little pixel art crocodiles.
Make a perception check.
15.
15. With a 15, you look into the room, opening the door a little bit more to see further in, and you do see at the very back of this room the frame of a door, totally covered in gray rubble, bits of brick and stone, and a little bit of bars of reinforcing metal. To your left, you see in a similar style, this is exposed to the outside, covered through, this time, far more densely populated iron bars to keep these crocodiles in this cage.
Okay, I'm going to turn around to the gang and just describe what I'm seeing. And also mention that there are several other doors to our left and right that we haven't looked at yet.
And, with the 15 also, you would notice that in one of the pools, you notice beneath the water, it's a dark room, but there's the slight glint of gold beneath the surface.
How much gold does it take to reattach an arm?
I can look that up for you. Give me a second.
3,000.
And also, probably about 40 more sessions for me to
Well,
learn that kind of spell.
I don't think we'd reattach it. I think I would dry it and I'd wear it around my neck as a necklace.
That's
also an
sweet
option.
and disturbing. Thank you, Sylvie.
You're welcome. That way I can keep you with me always.
Oh, it's actually moving. It's also something
Avantris,
that
how
spells
many
that
doors did
well.
you say there are?
Well, I see one that looks like it may lead somewhere. There's another sort of door-like structure but it solely looks like it was made to repair damage and keep the crocodiles in the room. I have a feeling if we try to press through this room, the crocodiles will probably notice us. So it may be worth exploring the other rooms first before we press ahead.
Yeah, I agree, especially because I'm not really a fan of doors that look like they go somewhere, but I don't know where that somewhere is. Am I right?
I agree with that, actually.
That sounds about
So
right.
why don't you keep scouting on ahead, and then you just tell us what's
Yeah,
through the other
and
doors?
don't forget, you have that amazing little rock that lets us hear you in our mind.
Oh, you're sending me on through the crocodiles by myself.
You
No.
seem pretty confident.
Or
It-
the other
whole-
the other doors of the hallway.
The whole way.
But if you're gonna go in
Well,
with
that's what I was hoping you meant.
if you're gonna go in with the crocodiles, you mentioned getting one. Do you think you could find a small one for me, and then they could be brother and sisters?
I'll do what I can.
Thank you.
How dark is it in the crocodile room?
It's pretty dark with, I'll say, with the regular flashing of thunder that it illuminates the whole room quite regularly.
So if I were to be, say, mid-air when there was lightning flashing, would I lose my ability to fly?
I think technically probably not. You might just lose some altitude if you're holding your cape and flying around. You might lose a little bit of altitude, but probably not. I would say that overall it would count as dim light.
Okay. I still think we should explore the other rooms first. I can't really see which direction on the map. I think there's a door each way.
Yeah, there's one door here and another door on the other side, same place as that, and then a door at the end of the hall. Down there.
Alright, gang, do you have a preference which direction we go?
Start with the side on the one door and then go. Start fewer doors to more doors.
I love more doors.
Just go left.
More doors.
Alright,
not a great idea.
then
I don't
I'll
wanna
go
do
first.
anything.
I checked the door to see if it has any kind of locking mechanism.
On the one that you're
This one.
first roll stealth check.
Correct.
First roll stealth check for me.
Oh shit.
Gladly.
It's not good.
I got a 28.
28. Okay.
That's pretty good.
Just
Uh,
barely missed the DC.
You give a test to the door, and it does seem to be locked.
Is there a lock on the door?
There does seem to be some kind of hole. Yes.
Can I peer through it?
You peer through it, but it doesn't seem to be just a hole all the way through. There seems to be some kind of mechanism.
I turn to the gang and I say, it's locked. Are we trying to force our way in?
Why don't we finesse our way in? Can you pick it?
You know what I mean. Of course I can pick it. How long have you been with us, Daniel and Jesus?
Well, if you say force, the Rodak's gonna take his whatever and knock it down.
Have you
Hey,
known brother?
It's happened
His
before.
favorite phrase is, now hold on.
It's my catchphrase at this point.
Am I trying to pick this up or not?
Go for it.
Alright,
Check for traps.
I'm going to attempt to pick the lock and see if there's any tricky trap mechanism within the lock.
Okay. You wait. What are you doing right now? Sorry.
I'm going to check for traps and pick the lock.
Investigation check, please. 9. You look for some kind of traps and you don't notice anything.
Of course not. I'm going to pick the lock.
Okay.
Oh god.
Wait, it's just +8, right? Because it's proficiency plus dex check.
Correct.
24.
24. So you take your thieves' tools, and as you're picking, you feel the different tumblers moving ever so slightly, and you finally, and as soon as the final tumbler hits, you realize you probably didn't check quite as well as you would have liked. Make a dex saving throw for me.
Dex saving throw, you say? I I got a 17.
17. Okay, you manage to dodge out of the way, but you hear a loud crack of thunder almost from the door as the whole of the door mechanism splinters and bursts out towards you, and the entire door electrifies and shocks around. You see an arcing of electricity, and you take half of, although with evasion I guess you probably wouldn't.
I take nothing!
You take nothing. So you feel like you would have gotten shocked. Your thieves' tools get completely fried. As soon as that happens, you hear a voice from inside. Who's interrupting my rituals? And make a perception check.
Oh god, oh goodness.
Good
I
news.
suck.
7.
The top form tonight.
Unfortunately, you don't seem to notice the sound of a loud crackling as the door completely splinters, as almost an explosion. Who's around the door with you?
Just him.
I think it's just me, unfortunately.
Would we have heard that, like the shouting and the door?
Yes.
Whatnot?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna step into the hall just in front of the door where we are,
Same.
and draw a bow or arrow.
Okay.
And I would start running.
I'm going to cast Minor Illusion, and I'm going to amplify my voice as, what's his face? Again. Orpheus. Again. And say, you would let a silly disturbance like this interrupt your ritual? What kind of pathetic chumps do we have working on this project?
Make a deception check.
God.
He's so sassy.
We aren't making any of the important rolls.
No.
A deception?
Yep.
10.
10. You hear the voice call out, I know a spell when I see one! And as the smoke clears from the doorway, Avantris, directly in front of you is a almost electric blue looking lockjaw crook, a humanoid, seems to be a bit older, with this wicked smile. You then see into the room there is a number of these blue-gray crystals crackling with electricity and arcing and shooting up into the sky, all the way up into the clouds. And rain is pouring in. And let us...
Oh, he's on a balcony?
Oh, yeah, so the entire...
Oh yeah, that.
I should pull that up. You then see through the door... Standing in front of a huge crystal that is arcing tons and tons of electricity. He's standing, the entire side of the room has crumbled away and is only very lightly reinforced by metal bars going all the way across, as the wind is howling around, almost forming a bit of a whirlwind inside this chamber, as lightning is just crackling, shooting out in all directions very close, but huge arcs of energy arcing out from the balcony out into the sky up towards the clouds. And you see this cackling seems to be a bit older, sunken in, almost streaks of glowing scar material that are radiating with that blue electrical energy in long robes. Oh yeah, sorry. They're not actually red, but just to show the difference, I made them red. Those are crystals, not fire. And
They're all flipping us off.
And as he looks at you, you see him holding a gray diamond, and with his one hand, he crushes it, and it crumbles to dust. And as the dust crumbles, wind starts whipping around and around and around, and almost in front of him, huge, or not huge, but large gray clouds swirl together, and two crackling electrical eyes form, and you see a huge storm elemental in front of you. I need everyone to roll for initiative.
Oh.
So just so I understand, the storm elemental is a separate entity from. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
And you say he's holding a great diamond? That's what he's.
He was holding a gray diamond that, or a silvery diamond that he crushed, and
Hey, we have one of those.
We do?
Elemental battle!
like,
Pokemon Go!
like you could ever get him to crush his
Not yet.
elemental
Not yet, lad.
ever.
okay, hold on.
Don't forget we have, not Gricko, what's his name? Ratley.
Oh yeah, I'm here too. And so
I can contribute.
I swear I have my cards ready. I wasn't sure the order of operations.
There's some more under here.
Yeah, thanks. So who has 20 to 25?
Me.
Okay.
Wow.
What do you have?
54.
24. Okay. 20 or 15 to 20.
15.
15.
Who's going first?
Alright, well, I guess.
What? Okay.
Probably you. You're the healer.
Yeah, 15
15 to 20.
No.
Ganji. Sylvie.
Yeah, after those monsters go, we're probably gonna need
And Anglin and Rodek.
Anyone has an 11.
I have an 11 as well. She can go for, yeah.
You guys can make the decision before it happens.
Okay.
More beneficial if she goes last because of marks.
Oh, you're right. I'll go first.
With that, it is Vanders's turn.
Alright, considering that there are two standing right next to each other, I'm going to not run away, strategically fall back
Naturally.
towards the rest of the
Oh.
group and channel Venom Spine as my action.
This way?
Or towards the
Okay.
dick at the end of the hall.
You want to keep going back, or just right there?
Yeah, I mean, we can all get past each other, right? I want to
Yeah.
regroup with you guys and let you know what I saw and channel Venom Spine.
Okay, got it.
Okay, you see what's happening as this crook made the door explode with lightning energy or thunder energy, you're not quite sure, and summoned this storming air elemental as all these insane crystals are arcing up towards the sky. He's also arcing up towards the top of the tower as well. And once you get a clear shot of the room and the door crumbles, as the elemental is turning towards you, you just step out of the way and call out to the rest of your group what happened, and you channel the power of Venom Spine as that thick black venom coats the blade. And with that, it is Rowley's turn.
Jeez.
Okay, and so Judge, should I go in there?
No,
I'm
let's
going
stay
in
back
there,
here.
sure. Let me just see what's going on. And he goes and he peeks into the door.
So goodbye, Rattler.
Ah! He, wait, how many saves is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He can like barely make that.
Okay. Actually, you know what? On second thought, I'm gonna hide behind you guys and ready in action.
All right.
Sounds about right.
Is that fine?
Yeah. With that,
Monsters 1.
Monsters 1. So the Monsters 1 is the Thunder Caller, or the Storm Caller rather, and he begins laughing maniacally as you hear and you hear the loud crackling of energy, and you start to feel the ground of the tower rumbling, and that's his turn. And with that, it is Oh, here it is. With that, you see, you hear the crackling of thunder within the hallways, not from outside of the storm, as billowing dark clouds emerge from the room and turn towards you. All of a sudden, you, before even realizing it, you see this elemental fly on top of the first 4 people here, and you are within the elemental being thrown around.
Wow, he's quick.
And flight of 90. And with that, the wind starts to spin and spin and spin and spin. And Rattly, Annual, and Sylvie, you're towards the back. You see basically a living cyclone with these menacing dark eyes, with bright eyes of dark, crackling energy, deeply set. And everyone to make a strength saving throw.
Everybody?
The four that are in there.
15.
15?
Or 16.
16?
Got a 20.
Passes.
14.
14. Okay.
Not rolling well. Gotta say.
Okay. As all of you feel... Wait, hold on. Let me see Ratley's. You see Ganji, Rodek, and Vandris hunker down as they're grabbing onto bits of the stone. The wind is pulling at you. Your hair, that you have in your beard, is flying wildly in this howling whirlwind, but you manage not to lose your footing. However, Ratley is not so lucky as you see his green body get spun around in this whirlwind and flung out. How many feet?
Hopefully he didn't just die.
Goodbye.
Through the door into the alligator
The
pit.
door is shut.
Yeah, if the door wasn't shut, I definitely would have shut it as soon as
1, 2, 3, 4, 20 feet. You see his body smash against the stone of the wall as his crossbow leaves a dent in this fortress wall and starts to crumble a little bit as the ground is shaking from whatever the crook is doing in there, and he takes some damage.
Damages?
Okay.
So he was the only one that got picked up, right? The
Correct.
other
Yeah.
ones.
Right, and he's prone. Could you just knock him prone? And with that, it is Gandy's turn.
I'm going to banish the elemental.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
Make a charisma save.
Okay.
Just another day, folks. Just another day.
That'll it's -2 modifier. It gets a 6.
That'll fail. It vanishes if it's native to a different plane of existence than the one we're on, which I'm assuming it's elemental plane of air. It is banished with a faint popping noise returning to its home plane. If the spell ends before 1 minute has passed, the target reappears in the space it left, or otherwise the target doesn't return.
So wait, when is
So
it
it's a
return?
concentration.
Yeah, you have to break my concentration to bring him back.
Within 1 minute.
So if it does not break within 1 minute, it'll return. But
It
if
won't return.
It won't return.
It
If
stays
breaks-
banished forever.
If you break it, though, he'll return.
Yeah.
Okay. So after you see Ratley be thrown out of the whirlwind, smack against the wall, and fall to the ground, and you manage to keep your footing, clutching onto one of the bricks in the wall, and you say a prayer to Bahamut, drowned out by everyone due to the cyclone, and all of a sudden your fingertips glow with a platinum light, and all of a sudden the swirling whirlwind starts to get sucked, rather in a circular motion, starts to get sucked into your hand, and there's and the air elemental is nowhere to be seen.
Hey.
Bye.
Clutch F.
Angie, what did you do?
I banished him. I've had that plan in the works for a long time.
Well, that was convenient, so he's just dead, right? And then
As long as my concentration doesn't get broken.
Sylvie, it's
We
your
have to
turn.
finish off the
I
big
want
guy
to get as
quickly.
close
Sylvie,
to the door as possible.
Okay.
So
1, 2, 3, 4. You can probably make it.
perfect. I want to polymorph him.
Okay. What's the range on that?
60 feet.
Okay. So you step into the door and you see this humanoid crocodilian shooting out lightning arcing from all of his fingertips, connecting all of these crystals as lightning is shooting up into the ceiling. You're not really sure where it's going from there, shooting up in the sky, far, far, far more energetic and powerful than anything that you've seen. And so attempts, what do I gotta do?
Wisdom saving throw.
What's my whiz mod? Ooh, +3. 5.
Had to beat a 17. I want to turn him into a teacup pig.
So,
So if you want to put this in its place, please. You gotta turn his face towards the camera.
It's me!
he's now a gargantuan monster and he crushes us all.
No, he's exactly a teacup pig, so he's very, very small.
after the wind and the looming, swirling storm in front of you, that the Ganji banished got completely banished. You push past all of your friends and see this older-looking crook just laughing maniacally as it's shooting lightning into these crystals, and all of a sudden, and it starts oinking and squealing as there is a little teacup pig stands at the center of these crystals. All of a sudden, the crackling crystals are still shooting out energy, but they seem to have calmed down. The rumbling starts to cease a little bit as there's a pig just running around this giant crystal, seemingly incredibly confused. Wait a minute, does the polymorph still continue to keep its its mental statistics, right?
It
Yes.
transforms a creature that you can see within range into a node form. An unwilling creature makes a wisdom save to avoid the spell. The transformation, the spell has no effect on a shape changer or a creature with 0 hit points.
Okay.
The transformation lasts for the duration or until the target drops to
What's
0
the
or
duration?
dies. 1 hour.
There
The
we go.
new form, where do you see it? The new form can
At
be
the
any
bottom
beast
of
whose
this.
challenge rate. The target's game statistics, including mental ability scores, are replaced by the statistics of the chosen beast. So
So it's just literally a pig.
It's
Yeah,
literally-
it's a big.
Okay.
Well, to be fair, it's still really smart.
Yeah, it could be a smart
So, a pig just effectively manifests in the center of this room with thunder and lightning shooting all over the place. Its eyes go as large as saucers, and it starts just running around, squealing, and I don't know how to do pig noises.
That was pretty good, actually. I liked it.
Are we still in
All right.
combat?
And for an hour,
So I would like to run in and chase the teacup pig, trying to get him. So whatever I need to do to try to get it.
it starts to run away. So let's do just a straight dex contest.
Oh god.
What stats are we doing? Whatever, I'll just roll.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So I would have a 22.
You go and snatch up the pig.
Okay.
There's a little pig squealing, struggling to get
Just
out
like
of
petting
the grass.
him and like.
It's okay, Winter. I'm glad that you could tell I had magical abilities. That was really sweet of you.
Okay, I'm
All
gonna.
right. While I am hugely impressed
Give me the
with 2 of our spellcasting members, what are we going to do now with this pig?
Well, I don't know. For an hour, I can keep him. Then I could fly him up into the air as high as I could go and just drop him.
I do want to point out that I can only use my special weapon ability once every day or so this seems like a waste.
Why don't you go stab one of the crystals in the room there? Make yourself feel better.
I almost was blown to bits earlier. I'd like to avoid having that happen again.
I didn't realize you had done that because I was so busy thinking about the fact that I wanted a teacup pig.
We do still have to finish him.
There could be danger in the back. Can we see like what's back here?
But if you stab him, he goes back to whatever he was at before.
Make a
Well, we need a
perception
plan to contain him at the very least.
We could put him in the bag of holding.
That would kill him instantly, wouldn't it?
In
check.
10
Seems
minutes.
to be the empty room. I mean, the lightning is lighting up the room pretty intensely.
I want to take a lap around the room just to investigate, see if I can see anything worthwhile.
Ooh, we could feed him to the alligators.
That's what I was thinking. I wonder if they're hungry.
I hate all of you.
But not as a pig, because like I said, once he dies, he goes back to being that big guy again. I think he just killed the gators. So
I don't know how that works. Honestly, in the spirit of scientific inquiry, I think we should find out.
well, no, because he's mine for an hour, and then we
I
can
mean,
talk about
in
it.
59 minutes, of course.
Yes.
So I'm gonna wait for a minute until the banish is permanent.
Okay, a minute passes.
It's still gone. Okay. Just
That was the only reason I used polymorph was to guarantee that
Right.
was permanent.
okay. So then I'm gonna go into the room and look at the crystals.
Okay. What do you?
Well, okay. First, I'm gonna scope the room, make sure there's nothing else that's obviously going to jump out and cover me.
Make a perception check as far as that goes.
Oh, that's really shit. It's a 5.
A 5. You look around. It seems to just be you have to kind of dodge some of the arcing bits of electricity that's shooting out of these crystals.
Mm-hmm.
But you look around. There doesn't seem to be any presence in the room besides this pig now,
All right.
and the rest of you.
Yeah, he's in my hand.
Does like electricity seem to be coming from the crystals?
It does. It does. So
Okay.
they're arcing out in all sorts of directions in the immediate couple of feet. But then also at the very top of each of the crystals, they're shooting out of the room, out into the sky and towards the top of the tower as well.
Well, I feel like we should break some of these. Can I glean in
Can
any
we
way?
explore the rest?
What was that?
I want to explore the rest before we start breaking stuff. We don't know what these do.
Well, I think it's pretty clear they may control the weather to some degree.
If it will make you feel better, you can stab me with your weird glowy blade so you don't waste it.
I'm not gonna stab any of you. I don't mind trying to break one of these crystals. I just prefer maybe our thunder lizard go first.
I can do that.
Okay.
Okay. So does it look? So sorry. Are the little guys arcing to the big guy, or is there any pattern?
So you see the arcs of all of these, and you notice that in your fight, although you weren't in there, Sylvie and Vandris, I guess, would have noticed that the guy in there, once he had been using his channeling, they were all arcing together.
Mm-hmm.
But now that he's been turned into a pig, they seem to just be only arcing out towards the thing. Obviously, the largest crystal shooting out the hugest amount of energy.
Okay. Are there any big pieces of rubble?
You could probably find some, yeah.
Alright, because I'm thinking I get the biggest piece of rubble, find the smallest crystal, smash the rubble onto the crystal, and see what happens.
Okay, so you find a pretty sizable brick that's just been kind of lying in the corner of this room, and I just want you to make a general athletics check.
Okay. That's not great. That's gonna be an 8.
An 8. So you
really did give me your crap dice.
You manage to lift it, and as you go to throw it, make an attack roll for me, please.
Okay.
And that's an improvised weapon, right?
That's another 5. I can't deal with this. So that's what? Strength with no proficiency?
Mm-hmm.
So that's an 8.
That's an 8. So as
oh man, I missed.
So as you carry this over, you're trying to heave it up, but you're not quite strong enough. You kind of drop it off the side. It manages to leave a little crack in it, but as soon as that happens, an arc of lightning does shoot out at you and make a dex saving throw for me.
Okay. That's pretty good. That's going to be an 18.
Okay, 18. So you manage to take half of, not 5 points of lightning damage.
And then that's half again because I resist.
Yes.
So that's 1 damage?
Half of 5
is 2.
Is 2. Yeah, 1 damage.
1 damage.
Yep.
Alright. I can do that.
Maybe we try to destroy these things from a distance. Maybe the ladies would like to take a stab at it.
So to speak.
Do we have any clue what they do?
if they're shooting electricity up to the top of the tower, it's probably something we want to stop.
My concern is, Oinker, be quiet. God, he's so frightened.
Sorry, what was his name?
Oinker.
Appropriate.
That's very creative. I like that name.
It's a good one. I came up with it myself. My concern is if these have been doing this for a while and all of a sudden they stop, isn't that gonna let other people know that maybe something's happening in this room and potentially the blue gator guy is now a pig?
That's a great point. If it's controlling the storm, first of all, the storm's been giving us cover. It's pretty much night all the time. And then if it stops all of a sudden, I think someone will know that something's wrong.
I agree. I'm not technically in there, but can I be in there?
Yeah. No. This is just for reference.
Yeah, we're all here.
Am I the only one that thinks that Orpheus is absolutely 110% sure he knows exactly where we are at all times?
I feel like that's likely, but
But the crocodiles don't, and that's the important thing.
that's
Yeah.
true.
And as long as we kill King Crumb, then the crocodiles don't.
So what's towards the back of the room? Like behind the
Can I
crystals?
move this? Is it just a wall?
Behind the crystals, so it's the rest of an empty room. What you see right there is on the external, you can kind of see, if you kind of peek off to the side, that there may have been a huge balcony going off, maybe with walls and fortifications, where archers and the like would have, in ancient times, been stationed. But through the decay or war, it's all crumbled away and fallen down the mountain.
Can we see the top of the tower where the lightning's shooting up to?
Make a perception check for me.
$15.
15. You see that it is. That you see that some are arcing up. It's a good number of feet. You can see that the next tier of the fortress that you are above the one that you're in is very, 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 very high up, or at the very least the ceilings of this one go up very, very high. You do see that some of the energy is arcing up directly up along the side of the tower, but others is shooting straight up into the clouds. But where exactly these arcs of lightning energy are going past a couple dozen feet from you, you don't really see.
There are no like notes or written materials or anything in the room.
In the room, no. There's just these 6 crystals.
Alright, well, if we're not going to break them, and I don't hate the idea to not do that, because it zapped a little bit.
We can always come back.
We can always come back. I'm okay with moving on. Though,
I think we should just see what else is down here, explore a little bit more, and then
Right.
maybe we do break them and draw someone
Ooh.
down, but not before we know what's
I
going
have
on.
an idea. In an hour, when Oinker turns back into that piece of shit, we tie him to the big crystal, and then we break all the crystals at once, and he gets electrocuted to death.
Are we sure that's how it works?
No,
I'm not sure how that's how it works. Avantris, you said that he was like channeling lightning or something, right?
It almost looked like he was made of lightning.
oh, then let's not do that. Let's put you in water, pig.
Well, you hold on to the pig.
Oh, I will.
Vandris, I know it
We
may...
could put him in a pool of crocs.
But not right now.
We...
You know what the best thing would be? Tie him in just suspend him by a rope. When he transforms back, he's bigger, so he breaks the rope and falls into the crocodile pond.
I love that idea.
Then we're not killing a pig. He's a pig all the way through, and then
But
he
I
dies.
want to hold him until he dies.
True. That's a good point. Anyway, let's continue.
Well,
Quick question, out of character. Did I lose all of my thieves' tools when the door exploded?
Whatever. How many issues? How many like copies? Do you have?
It doesn't really say. Like, you'd have to look in the book and say, what does thieves' tools consist of? Because that's all I have is quote-unquote thieves' tools.
Vandris, you know that
So
one?
DM choice.
You know that one that was crooked? I have a spell called Mending that can fix it.
That's fantastic. I was going to, either ask all of you if there was a way that we could create more of them, or if you could fix the ones that I have, and mending sounds fantastic.
Yeah. I can do that.
Remind me the next time that we're in town to buy extra of these things. I don't often forget how clumsy I am, I suppose.
I'll put it on our shopping list.
Thank you.
See, I'd say you probably have just 2 pairs, and so one would be bent and the other would be...
Yeah, that's fair. I just wanted to see, basically leave it up to you, your decision.
Yeah.
So could I use mending on it to fix it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a
Just let me
cantrip,
hold
right?
it.
Yeah.
Yes, cantrip. Just let me hold it and I'll fix it for you.
So Sylvie channels mending on both pairs of your thieves' tools, and the other one gets bent, and the one that's all sooty and shattered seems to grow back, and it's mended.
Ooh, look,
That's
I got both of them.
Scratch that shopping list, Ganji.
Do
I
you-
appreciate it, though.
Do you see that, Oinker? I am very pagical and magical.
Well, given that we have less than an hour now, why don't we head down the other way to the hallway? There's no outlet. There's no like outlet or anything here, right? It's clear that
All you can say, yeah.
So,
All right,
I just had another.
let's go to the other doors.
I just had another great idea for
Go on.
what to do with Oinker.
Go on.
Have you ever heard of clay pigeons? We throw Oinker over the side, shoot him in mid-air with our fine archers and ranged casters, who will no doubt love the sport. He gets hit, turns back into a person, and then falls down very high and dies from the fall.
I like your other idea better.
As much as I love that idea, I feel like kicking anybody off the side of this keep might be a little risky at this point.
I'm not gonna let them do anything to you, Oinker. Don't worry.
Alright, you have an hour.
The
Let's
next,
go.
The other door.
Let's go.
While you
for
guys
at least
deal
the
with
next
this.
50 minutes, you belong to me.
Yeah, I'm not shooting that pig.
Okay.
If he bites me, I'll shoot him. No, I won't. Pigs bite sometimes. Take it on.
With that,
Ooh.
you go to the other door. It seems to be a similar makeup of the door to the crocodiles that you saw. Very heavy metal bars, but this one's even more reinforced. And that's what you got.
I have an idea. Annalyn, do you have any more of that poison stuff that you used to poison Zaki?
I think they used all of it.
Oh,
Yeah, I think that's all gone.
I think, or
Okay.
no, I used my poison too, didn't I?
never mind.
It was a big brew.
It was.
Okay.
So door.
Is there a lock on it?
There is a lock similar to a mechanism that seems to be connected to the metal bars that are into the stone. Make an investigation check.
Here we go, baby.
You're checking for traps, I assume.
Correct.
Yeah.
Checking and failing. 16.
16. You see, you are testing things. You're checking the door, being extra careful after the last time, and you do seem to find a trap mechanism. Along the sides, you find 2 little pinholes where something might get sprayed out.
Always the poison spray. What's with these guys? They're so unoriginal. How big are the holes?
The
If you know
holes
what I mean.
are probably like not even half an inch. Quarter of an inch.
Okay. I was gonna try to shove ball bearings in there.
But you get a sense of how the mechanism works.
All right. Then can I can try to disarm it? Correct.
You can.
Is this just dex check?
Yep, plus proficiency. It's thieves' tools. It's the same roll.
14.
14. So as you're attempting to disarm, you feel like you're almost quite there, and all of a sudden you trigger something, and you hear a sudden rushing in inner tubing as both holes spray with some thick green liquid. Make a dex saving throw.
Dex saving throw. Got a 25.
You take no damage as acid sprays out of this door, and
Well, that's one way to disarm a trap.
you hear a loud, and the trap seems to have run out of its acid spray.
I look up and I say, "That's twice, Orpheus. That's twice. Nice try, pal. I'm coming for you." And I'll pick the lock on the door.
Okay.
21.
21. You pick the lock, and the door seems to be unlocked. Sleight of hand check, please. And a stealth check for me.
Oh, shit.
I'll do stealth first.
Okay?
I'm just like poking my head out, looking down the hallway at him.
Okay.
I got a 31 for stealth.
Not sure that's high enough.
Sleight of hand is less. 16.
16? Okay. You open the door ever so slightly, and you look into the room, and the room is effectively pitch black. You can only see a handful of feet in front of you, even with your dark vision. As you look around, and you can see, hold on. Directly in front of you, you do see very, very, very faintly in the darkness these bubbling pools of a greenish, goopy substance.
That appears to be magical darkness. I quietly close the door and go back to my friends.
What did you see?
Magical darkness. Who can dispel it?
Oh, I can.
The cleric can always dispel. Do we...
It was more of a rhetorical question. We need to go dispel it.
This little piggy went to market. This little piggy stayed home.
Speaking of, did you decide what we're doing with him yet?
This little piggy dispelled magic. This little piggy belongs to the gnome.
Are we inspired, or
What?
are you just rhyming?
I was just practicing.
Oh, alright, well,
Take inspiration for that.
do we...
Oh, and let's go take inspiration for the banishing the elemental.
So Avantris, do you have any sense of what's in the room?
There's really gross pools of some viscous, bubbling green liquid. And I almost got zapped by a poison trap, but not today.
Sounds
Classic.
about right.
So lightning and water and poison.
So why don't we send... So you can dispel...
I should be able to.
Lightning and water and poison. Oh
It's
my.
another spell slot, but I have enough of those.
I mean, unless you think it's worth bumbling around in the dark.
I
I'm just
disagree.
not
No,
sure what else.
I don't think that's a good idea. So
Did you see
I'm alright
any
with
kind
that.
of way to get up?
Water.
Any set of stairs? Any...
Poison.
Not yet. I think we might have one more door to check, but
You do.
honestly, I think our passageway is going to be through the crocodile room.
Well, it's worth at least checking out. Instead of sending the whole gang and making a huge sound, I guess we're...
I can try it.
Lightning.
I'll go with Ganji, but you have to promise me you're going to deal with that guy before we get back.
I'll make sure she does. If she doesn't, I will.
Lightning
I'm trusting
and
you.
water and poison and pig.
Well, that's not great. That's a 5 for stealth. I'm making a lot of fucking noise.
Shit.
I'll stealth roll again as well. And
I'm
I
gonna
got
go also.
28.
I'll stay back here.
Okay.
I'm gonna basically be like right here.
Okay.
Where are you?
Just
I got a
wrapped
20
in
for
my
stealth.
pig.
Okay, 20 for stealth. So what's the order of operations here? What's your deal?
I'm going to peek inside the room.
Okay.
Like, not go inside, just like peek my head around
Okay.
the frame of the door and cast Dispel Magic on the magical darkness.
Okay, so as you peek your head, you hear your armor clanging loudly, and as soon as you open the door to cast it, all of a sudden 4 daggers are directly in your face, and they are going to be making attacks at you.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Hey, Rabbit.
Hey, Rabbit, thank you.
Thank you.
You are the best. I did my nails today and I thought of you.
So,
They're glittery.
She's my nail buddy.
the 4 daggers fly at your face as your arm is channeling darkness in it. Would you need to roll anything to dispel it or no?
Unless it's above 3rd level, which I think darkness is a 3rd level spell. So
It is.
Okay.
it dispels.
So as soon as your platinum light glows out of your hand and shines and illuminates the room as the magical darkness is dispelled and drifts away, and you see before you as these daggers fly at you. Let me just roll real quick. Your AC is 21, correct?
Mhm.
Jesus Christ. But 2 hit. And that is going to be... sorry. That is going to be on you. 10 points of piercing damage, and make a con saving throw for me.
It's gonna be 6 or con.
Con.
It's an 18.
18. So as one of the daggers slices into your wrist, the other one grazes your cheek, you get the sense immediately that these are coated in some kind of venom. As you feel it start to seep into your bloodstream, but you manage to seal yourself and are not poisoned by that.
Breaking up.
Oh, hello? Check. 1 2 1 2. We gotta fix our internet, guys.
Is that on Wi-Fi music?
I don't. Fuck you, Bixie. Hold on, guys. We're just trying to get the gang back real quick. You guys back?
Yep.
What did you guys miss?
And as soon as you.
Hello? Can you hear us?
Can you
I
hear
was
me?
seeing a replay through Twitch. He was describing how the daggers hit Genji.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the daggers hit Ganji. He just does not get poisoned. With that, it is you see the magical darkness get dispelled, and as soon as the door opens, you finally see these.
Thank you, Rabbit.
Thanks, Rabbit. Oh my goodness.
Thank
You're
you,
amazing.
Rabbit.
Thank you so much.
We love you.
You-
Even our new pig loves you.
You
Not for
see
long.
For a 40.
a room covered in these goopy pools, and around them are 4 lockjaws with bandoliers covered in daggers and flasks that are all over them, all filled with strange-looking, bubbling, viscous substances.
Something tells me we weren't getting out of this without a fight.
And
After
with
that,
that, I
that's
need everyone to roll
dodge.
for initiative.
To be fair, that was probably our shortest combat ever.
Probably.
We didn't even get through a full round. We barely got through. I don't even. No.
No.
We barely even got through half a round.
You guys were the first to act, right? It was basically
Avantris-
acted.
Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta.
With that, 20 to 25, please.
20.
Me. 20.
Go ahead, Vanders.
Fucking swashbucklers.
Go for it.
20?
I'm feeling rocky with the audacity.
Vanders and I are both
Audacious.
20. And Vanders can go first.
Okay. Okay. 15 to 20?
Oh, did you need me to roll for initiative? I'm in the
16.
other room.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we'll say so.
Okay.
16?
Yeah.
The poison.
Blah.
16. Rhoda and Sylvie, what are you?
8.
7.
Ha.
Anna, what are you again? Sorry.
She got 17.
Me. I got a 16.
Or 16.
Okay.
Close for me.
Great. So, with that, you see,
Crocodile ninjas.
You see these green-scaled lizard folk in ratty leather coats with all of their bandoliers, their daggers, and their files. They, one is going to grab a green file from his bandolier and chuck it at the three of you, and it is going to shatter on the ground, and a green cloud immediately erupts from it. And I'm going to need everyone in there to give me a con saving throw.
Okay. Well, that's not going to do it. It's going to be a 6.
Okay?
14.
Okay?
I got 10.
All three of you start coughing and choking as this gas of this poisonous gas fills your lungs, dealing, and we'll just do this for all of you, 10 points of poison damage, and you're all poisoned for 1 minute.
Oh, shit. Is there a save on it?
We've all failed.
You all failed.
Like a repeating? I guess not. I'm just fucking...
What does that do?
We're at disadvantage for a bunch of stuff.
Against basically everything. And so the others are going to, the one on the far right is going to do that. The others are going to stand where they are, and they're going to just chuck daggers at each of you. So we're going to roll Ganji first. That is going to fail. We're going to roll Avantris. That is going to hit.
Only can you dodge?
Okay, so the dagger flies. Oh wait, hold on, wrong die. The dagger flies into you, into your flesh, slicing you for 7 points of piercing damage, and make a con saving throw for me. Annulant's gonna
Even
miss
if
you.
I'm already poisoned, good lord.
Yep.
I got an 11.
An 11. You feel poison seep into your flesh, your body again, dealing 3 points of poison damage additionally.
Ah!
And with that is Vanish's turn.
Okay, I'm mad as hell now. I'm hopping like a hornet. I'm gonna use my movement and my bonus action to sprint all to the one all the way on the right by the wall.
Okay.
And I'm gonna stab him in the face.
Okay.
Wait, you said I'm disadvantaged, correct?
Correct. Because you're poisoned.
Hey, got a 25.
25? Okay, that hits, obviously.
I rolled a 16 and a 17. It's 23 points of damage right at the face.
23 points of damage. Okay. So you stink your rapier deep into its gut. It lets out a as it crumples forward a little bit. It's looking very wounded. Its blood is gushing out of its abdomen. With that, it is... Oh, also, there is a cloud... There's a poisonous cloud. Poisonous cloud! We'll just say... like her out here.
What
Okay.
does that mean? Like it's continuing to poison us?
So if you start your turn in there or enter it, you'll have to do the save.
One more time. Start or end your turn there. You do what?
You start your turn in it, or if you the first time you enter it.
You have to do a poison save.
Yeah, the con
Or
save.
take damage.
Or take additional damage. Okay. With that, it is Gandy's turn.
Okay. So I'm going to move forward out of the cloud
Okay.
and Sacred Flame the same one that he did. So that's a dex save on his part, which is
Okay.
probably pretty good at.
Oh, can you do a con saving throw if you start your turn in there, please?
Oh. Even if it's already hit us this turn?
Oh, no, you're right. Never mind. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Fair enough. Sacred Flaming on number 4.
Yeah, dex
Okay.
saving throw. DC 15.
And it's nat 1. Doesn't matter, but he fails. And how much damage?
Let me see. It's going to be 13 radiant.
13 radiant. As soon as Vanders withdraws his rapier, you charge out of the poison cloud and call a platinum pillar of flame that just singes his flesh. He shrivels up and collapses to the ground dead.
Nice.
Okay. With that, it is Ratley's turn. I guess Ratley would have been behind you guys, and he looks in, and he calls out, "Is it safe to go through the green cloud?"
Probably not.
Well, I'm gonna give it a shot. And he pulls up his crossbow and tries to run through. And he succeeds the saving throw. So he closes his eyes and holds his breath, and he runs in. And let's just put him to the left of the left of Anulin. Or no, just towards the guy, towards number 3.
Here?
Yeah,
To the left.
right there. And he is going to fire his crossbow at him. And that is going to hit. The crossbow bolt sinks into the Lockjaw Crook's flesh, and with that, it is Anulin, your turn. You guys lagging?
Seems like it.
Hello?
You hear me?
Yeah,
We lost you for a sec.
we're good.
Okay. It was 25 to hit the guy that Ratley just said.
Okay, are you going to move out of the cloud?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay, so just move a couple feet out of the cloud, and that hits. Roll damage.
14 damage?
14 damage. Okay. The arrow goes right next to where the bolt is sticking out of this crook, and he lets out a yelp. He's looking pretty bloody. His blood is pouring out of his wounds.
Okay, and I'll make another arrow attack trying to finish him off.
Okay.
27 to hit.
Hits. Roll damage.
11.
11 points of damage. It flies through his throat. He spits up blood as he collapses to the ground. Oh, you gonna teach me how to shoot like that? And then it is Rodek's turn.
Alright. I can't get very far. 1, 2.
You can be a little bit closer. I mean, where you were.
1, 2, 3. I mean,
Yeah.
so no matter what, I'm just gonna.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess just run straight into
First
it.
poison.
24.
24. It's as a
23.
dwarf. You just it barely affects you. It's a light tickle.
I'm alright. I'll just stand here.
You're gonna
I'm
ready in
good.
action, or what?
I guess.
We're gonna sprint.
No, I'll just sprint. Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck it. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. Actually, no, I'm gonna go right there. Hold on. Oh, no. Okay. There. It's Cremmy. I just get confused.
Okay. And with that is Sylvie's turn.
But you're a smart pig. You built your house out of stone, but that big bad wolf, he huffed and he puffed and he tried to blow your house down, but he couldn't make it. And that's my turn.
Okay. As soon as
I have no idea you
Rodek
guys
runs
are in
up to
combat.
that guy, you see a little bit of a snickering as all of a sudden the two crooks that are alive, they see their dead comrades and they kind of look up to the ceiling. And it's not until too late you hear the clicking sound, and all of a sudden a thud as this massive blue beetle drops onto the ground.
Holy shit.
Onto the
No
ground.
me gusta. No me gusta.
Thud right here. It's clicking mandibles dripping with some kind of thick green substance that looks very similar to the pools. And it is going to make attacks on all three of... Oh, wait, hold on. It is going to drop down and... I'm actually going to... I'm going to move here. just to position this here.
Could he drop and then move?
Yeah. I'll say you get an opportunity attack.
Okay.
Alright, yeah, I'll do that too. Dang.
Are you disadvantaged?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Poison.
Yeah. 29 or whatever.
And I got above 20. I got like a 21.
So
9
it moves as it drops in between you. It moves around behind Annulin, right on top of Ratley, and it turns it towards Annulin and Rodak and opens its mandibles and sprays this disgusting, thick, goopy spray of this toxic liquid. I need both of you to make a dex saving throw.
Me. Or Genji.
Annulin and Annulin and Genji.
Oh. That's going to be a 17.
17? Okay.
25 for me.
25. You manage to dodge out of the way, but you'll take
Wait,
half.
would I be disadvantaged on that too, or just attack rolls?
Oh shit.
I don't deal with that.
Let me
I
check.
don't think it's saving throws.
Hold on.
It might just be ability checks.
Ability checks and attacks,
Okay.
yep. So you're not disadvantaged. So you pass, and you manage to dodge out of the way, but 10, 26. You take half of 29 points
Holy shit.
of acid damage
That's a lot of damage.
as it sprays out and hits the smooth, rounded wall of the pillar, and it just goops down onto the ground. And Radley calls out, "Do finding horrible monsters happen to you guys all the time?"
More than we'd like.
Okay.
I did 15 points of damage with the opportunity attack.
Oh yeah, great. Your hammer swings into breaking some of its
I did 9.
shell out. 9 points of damage.
Yeah, so 24 total.
24 between us.
Yep. 24 points of damage as you're starting to try to crack its thick shell. And with that, it is Monster's 1 turn. Well, they're going to be Monster's 3. And so Monster's 1. So the two people there are going to look around, and they're going to be patting down their bandoliers, looking for flasks for the appropriate situation. And number 1 is going to grab a. They're both going to grab a gray flask and chuck it at the ground. And with that, it's going to form a large gray cloud around, or rather an explosion. It's not a cloud. And it explodes out from these 2 vials. And I need all 4 of you to make con saving throws.
Shit.
Roll the 1.
12.
Wait, is this poison?
No, it's not. It's not poison, sorry.
Didn't matter anyway.
I got a 21.
21?
8.
12.
12? Okay, so the thick gray cloud causes all of you to start coughing as who failed? Who you failed?
I failed.
Lo and Annulin, what do you roll? 12? Annulin and Rodak, your eyelids start to fall as you get drowsy, and both of you fall asleep, collapse onto the ground. And Ratley and Ganji seem to shake it off. Okay. With that, it's Vantage's turn.
Okay. Full disclosure, I screwed up last round. I could not activate sneak attack because I had disadvantage in the roll. So,
Okay.
punish me how you want. I lose my turn. I don't
That's
know.
fine.
I should have been able to do that much damage.
Okay. He got crazy overkilled by Ganji anyway. So,
Okay.
it's not a big deal. Now we know.
So I thought because I was a swashbuckler, it would overwrite my need to have advantage or to not have disadvantage, but
Oh, okay.
apparently they eroded Avathars to fix that loophole.
Okay. Fair enough.
So
Now
I'll
we know.
just continue on. I'm gonna move over to Rodek. I'll move behind the guy that Rodek is attacking, and I'll attack
Okay.
him.
Rodek is
how
asleep.
do I... Oh, Rodek's asleep?
Yeah.
How
Rodek
do I
be-
lose disadvantage?
I would still be engaged.
I'd say he's engaged. That's fine.
I mean, it doesn't matter, I have disadvantage. So how do I lose disadvantage?
What is it?
If you
How
have,
do I get rid
His
of
poison.
You have to gain advantage. So you can hide, use your bonus action to hide, and then sneak up behind him and stab him.
Is there anything to hide behind?
I would say, given that he's facing Rodek, that you could probably just hide
And I
out
just
of
dropped
sight.
in front of him, like that's kind of.
Alright, well then I'll use my bonus action to hide and
Okay.
try to sneak up from behind him.
Make a stealth check.
I have disadvantage on this?
Yes.
Okay, so I just roll 1 die instead of the 2 because I normally have advantage
Yes.
on stealth checks.
Yes.
Holy crap, I got a 12.
12. Okay.
Total?
you must roll
Yes.
91.
Okay. As you sneak up behind him, he sees you and he's ready for an attack from you.
Failed attack. Period.
Well, this is a stealth check then.
Oh, it's still check. Yeah.
Alright, I'm still gonna attack.
Okay. He's full.
I got an 18.
18. Okay. 18.
Are you ready for this massive
It hits.
damage?
It hits.
7 points.
Whoa! You managed to get him in the back of the leg with your rapier. As he notices he's ready for your attack, you weren't able to hide. But you know he's not that bulky, so it does a decent amount. And with that, it's Ganji's turn. You're awake.
I'm going to move over here and use my action to shake Rodek awake.
Okay. You reach down and you shake him awake. Rodek, you are pulled out of sleep as the fog is drifting away.
Do I have any movement? I should have movement left. I'm going to move back. So I move 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna move 5, 6 here to try to spread out a little bit.
Okay. Okay. It's Ratley's turn. He sees this huge beetle in front of him, and he just said, "Well, here goes!" And he just fires into it, disadvantaged, and it flies off as it turns, and one of its wings kind of smacks the crossbow, and it sends the bolt flying. With that, Anulin, it's your turn.
Can I do anything if I'm asleep?
You cannot. Right? You cannot move, speak, you're unaware of the surroundings. Yes, okay. With that, so you're just sleeping, Rodek.
Oh, shit. Seeing the gigantic beetle, so he ran over to Ratley? The beetle?
The beetle is just standing there still from doing the...
He ran over so he could spray me and Anulin in a line.
Okay. Well, I would... I am going to... Yeah, I'm going to attack number 2. Let's make it a power attack. I'm feeling spicy. God damn it.
I'll use my reaction to add 10.
18.
18 hits.
There we go. 10, 20, 25 damage.
25 damage,
25
okay.
damage.
Your axe breaks through some of its shell as...
No, on the gator.
on number 2?
Small guy, yeah, number 2.
Oh, your axe cleaves into its back. He's not expecting it all. He's turned around to dodge Avantris' attack. He spits up blood and he collapses to the ground.
So he's dead?
Dead, yep.
Hey.
Definitely worth.
I'm going to go here. I'm going to attack number 1.
Okay.
Make it a power. That's better. 19.
19. That hits.
Nice. 11, 21, 26 damage.
26 damage to number 1. Once again, this one is a little bit more ready, but your axe cleaves into its chest. He stumbles back. He looks like he's almost died, but he's barely holding on.
Bonus action to attack. Regular attack. 19.
Hits.
11 damage.
You split his skull in half with your axe.
Fuck those guys.
Silly.
Illegal.
Well, and there's also a story similar to the one about the wolf, but it's about javelina, and they're different kind of pigs, not your type of pigs. I don't know what they're doing. They've been gone a while. Oh well, do you want me to tell you that story? We've got so much time together, and that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay. You still have inspiration, right? Yeah. Okay. As the crumpled form of Annulin is on the ground,
Oh shit!
sleeping, the beetle is going to make an attack with its. What does the most damage?
Jesus Christ, brutal.
Which one of these moves auto kills? Oh yeah, this one.
Would have been
It's so fun, guys. So fun.
with a natural 1, but advantaged. It's going to hit, and because you're unconscious, it's an automatic crit, and so the jaws sink into you or its mandibles sink into you, dealing 24 points of piercing damage.
Does that wake her up?
It does.
Okay.
It does. So you are jolted awake, and these clacking mandibles effectively pincer you, and then as you're shaken awake, it is going to slash both of you. You're still prone, but it is not an automatic crit, so it still has advantage.
You wake up just in time to go right back to sleep.
And one of its claws actually misses, and the other one's going to come in. And that is going to hit and deal, but not automatic crit, 10 points of slashing damage as the claw slices you as you're on the ground and just been bit by this massive beetle. And
I'm gonna wake up and just see myself covered in blood and go, what's happening?
You see this horrific beetle as you come into enormous form, its mouth beyond its mandibles dripping with the same goopy substance that covers the floors here. With that, it is monsters 1. They're all dead.
Fuck
Avantris,
you
you're
guys.
up.
Okay, I am going to use my bonus action to attempt to stealth and hide.
Okay.
26.
26. That, wait, hold on. Oh, yeah. You manage to hide and you feel very stealthy. You get up against the... Wait, he is... Oh, yeah, the beetle is just destroying Anglin right now, so it's not looking at you. Yeah, you're hiding. You kind of duck behind Rodic a little bit.
I want to sneak up behind him and stab him in the back.
Okay. You get rid of your disadvantage.
1 die.
Correct.
Come on. 23.
Hey!
23, that hits.
It's time for redemption, babe.
I'll just distract him with my blood. Good luck.
It's
As in-
Annulin's blood is covering the front of the beetle as it's just completely destroying her.
28 points of damage.
28 points of damage. As it's focused on Annulin, you manage to hide. It has no idea that you're there until the rapier has already pierced through its shell. It lets out a little bit of a pained chatter as it was 20... What points of damage?
28, I think I said.
Oh!
Suck it, bug.
And it looks at you menacingly. Okay, and with that... Yeah, with that, it is Gandy's turn.
Okay. So if I go over and grab Annulin and drag her away, does that incur an opportunity attack?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna use my action to do that.
Okay.
And then so that we're both still not the poison either.
Okay.
And then with my bonus action, can I use an object interaction?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to use my object interaction to get on the walkie-talkie. Sylvie, we could use some help in here. We're in a fight. We're fighting something big, and it's hurting your favorite elf.
Oh God, Vandris is hurt. What room are you in? I'll be there in a second.
The one right next to the one you're in.
Okay, bye. Click.
I'm going to need you to roll just a general dex check to see how much you can thread the needle here between the gas and the acid on the ground there.
Oh, okay. That's not great. That's going to be a 10.
That's a 10. You manage to get Anion safely, but your foot kind of slips in a little bit to the pool here. You're going to take 3 points of acid damage.
Okay.
As your boot kind
I'm
of
right with that.
slides in a little bit. Do Dragonborn wear boots? Or do they not? I don't know. We'll talk about that later. And with that, some gets in your
Probably
boots,
not.
otherwise not. No, not Matthias, Ratley. As it's turning towards all of you, he's almost like crushed against the back of the wall as this huge beetle is there. He's going to not. He is just going to disengage and run all in the corner. Ah! Hurry, kill it, please, kill it! And then with that is Anion's turn. You are prone, but you are away from the massive beetle.
And conscious.
And conscious.
Okay, so he uses movement to stand up. Is that how it
Half
works?
your movement.
Okay, so I'm gonna stand up and I'm just gonna fire 2 arrows at the beetle.
Okay.
And I'm still poisoned, right? It's a disadvantage.
Correct.
Okay. I also forgot to do that on my first turn.
That's fine.
I have been unconscious the rest of the time, so I didn't get a chance to make up for it. But
It balances out.
alright, first arrow is 22.
Okay, that hits.
17 damage.
17 damage. After Ganji has luckily pulled you away from the bug, you managed to get your bearings after falling unconscious and just getting completely destroyed. Get in a bit of revenge. The first arrow flies in. Roll the next one.
19? No, yeah, 19.
19 hits. Roll damage. Even disadvantage. Rangers, ladies and gentlemen, Rangers.
14 damage.
14 damage. You got it. Oh, not. The second one shatters, and it's all full of holes and wounds now, as this thick black ichor is dropping out of its wounds here. And with that, it is Rodek's turn. Unless we need a bonus action or anything, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. Well, I would like to... Ooh. You know what? I'm just gonna walk right up to him like that. And I'm going to do I'm gonna attack him.
Okay.
19 plus 8 or whatever. I'm gonna make it a tripping attack.
Okay.
So you need to make a strength saving throw.
Okay. 7.
That fails. So let me roll damage. 8, 10, so 15 damage.
15 damage. Okay.
How's he looking, by the way?
There's a good number of hits on him. There's a lot of that black ichor coming out. 15 damage, you said, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Your axe hammers into it. Axes into it.
And he's now prone on the ground.
Yes. Its 6 legs give way with the sheer force of your blow as it collapses, its legs splayed out.
Okay, I'm going to make a power attack.
Okay.
20.
20?
And then, 20.
Hits.
Okay, I'm going to roll 9, so 9, 19, 24.
24 points of damage. Okay.
And then I'm going to use Action Surge
Okay.
and attack 2 more times. Ooh, that's not going to hit. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
14 does not hit.
Holy shit.
As its shell finally manages to resist one of your
8,
attacks.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, so then that has 18 plus 8. 5, 10 damage.
10 damage?
So, yeah.
You missed it. You missed your thing at advantage.
Advantage, yeah.
What can you do?
How do you do this?
No way.
Oh, really?
I want to like trip him, basically like sweep his legs under him, and have him like turn over like a beetle, and just like cleave right in his belly in like a one shot.
So
It's all soft underneath.
Your first axe swing, despite missing, you manage to get enough leverage to pop him on its back, and then its legs are its blue legs are waving, flailing around. It's snapping desperately anything it can, and you just look at it. It's completely helpless. And what do you want to do? It's cut off its head or something?
Just like cleave like right in the gut, but it has the soft underbelly.
It's soft underbelly,
right
softer underbelly as far as an invertebrate can get with an exoskeleton, and it cleaves in, and goo and ooze just sprays everyone there, and it falls to the ground, dead.
Ooh. Okay, never mind. We handled it. Sorry.
Okay, I hadn't gotten up yet, so that's fine.
And I've used my hat of disguise to make myself look like a pig outfit from the masquerade, and we're just hanging out.
Okay, it's 2 pigs in a pod.
Yeah.
How do we get rid of this poison, Ganji?
It will probably go away in a minute or so, if I had to guess.
Damn.
A minute passes, you feel much better.
Holy crap, I feel so much better.
Are you all right,
Holy crap, I still feel like crap.
I'm honestly not feeling too great either. I don't know if we can afford to spend an hour to rest, but we might.
We need to deal with that small pig. I know it's not the elephant in the room, but we need to do something about that creature. We're running out of time.
Is the poison cloud dissipating by now?
Yes, it's gone.
Okay, just making sure.
You're
Well-
just the cutest pig in the whole world, and I'm gonna keep you today and tomorrow and the day after tomorrow and yesterday too.
Well, let's go face the pig in the room. And we walk in and see 2 pigs in the room.
Is this a door?
That's a door. So that's a door. It is not nearly as sturdy as the other 3 that you've checked. It is still closed and staying closed, but with the force of the storm, it's kind of rattling in its hinges.
I want to kind of take a look around to see if there are any clues of like hidden stairways up or like anything else
In this room?
Yeah, in this room.
Make an investigation check.
Did the stairwell that we came up in go up further?
A 10.
A 10. You look around the room and you can't really find anything that you would see as another exit here.
All right. Well, is the cloud still there?
No, it's gone.
I think you're right. I think we need to take care of the pig, and we may need to take a rest. But I think before we do, let's. I know we haven't had great luck looking through doors, but there's only one left to try.
Well, 1 plus the crocodiles and that other one. But sure, I hear what you're saying, and I'll give it a try.
Go ahead, lad.
Okay. You guys don't. Oh, you're gonna go to this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
We might want to take care of the pig first. I don't.
You guys go deal with that. I'll take a look in the door. I'm expecting this to just open up outside the elements.
Just look. Just get an idea of what's out there. Don't do anything.
Certainly.
Don't get attacked. Just be very stealthy.
I'll do what I can.
All right.
Okay.
Is it locked?
You test the door. It is not locked.
I would like to very stealthily and sleight of handily open the door.
Make a stealth check and a sleight of hand check for me, please.
Oh, jeez Louise. My stealth was a 16. And my sleight of hand was a 20... Hold on. 25.
Okay. As soon as you press the door open, you feel the door press back onto you as the wind starts howling through this door slot. You manage to just gently open the door and peek through. I'm just going to pull off all of Fog of War.
Fug of War.
The Fug of War.
How many
Fug.
dicks there
Good
are
old
on this
fug.
side
Whoa.
of the map. Wow, that's a lot of dicks.
A Fug of War. And make a quick perception check for me, will you, Avantris?
Gladly. I got a 7.
A 7. You look out into the elements. There are walls coming out about up on what seems to be a vast balcony, all on the side. Very much weathered and crumbling, but it seems as if makeshift perches have been built into the stone all along these walls here. And you see various bits of nesting and buckets of rotting meat. However, you don't seem to see any immediate giant vultures beyond just 4 up on a center tower that rises up directly in front of you. You see that there is a door to this circular tower that seems to go up right in front of you. That's the thing right there. And it seems to be crumbling away. There are bits of brick and stone that have fallen away from this thing, and you can see directly in it seems to just be a series of ramps that goes up about 20 feet up to the top of this little turret. And you can see kind of on top that there is a bit of movement, but it's hard to tell besides the kind of 4 dark shadows huddled against this storm of these giant vultures. And I guess I'll just put them up.
2, 3.
So this is like a little side turret on the side of the keep.
Yes. This seems to be, from what you can guess, the only you get the sense that this balcony at one point had gone all the way around the entire keep, and this little bit right here is the only thing that remains. And it seemed as if the crooks have fastened this to be the main landing area and perch of their vultures, but it seems to be pretty sparse with vultures at the moment.
I'm going to close the door and retreat.
Okay.
And go stand out by the alligator door, I suppose, and just kind of wait there.
So I guess I'll go to Sylvie's room. I think that's where the rest of the gang was going.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Sylvie, have you decided?
Yeah, I named her Gertrude. I know that it was a boy before, but I just felt like Gertie was a good name. So, yeah, I've decided I'm gonna name her Gertie. Why?
Well, we've got to do something with it,
Well, it's a pig.
right? But in about 40, how long is it? Whatever. In about 40 minutes, it won't be a pig any
Yeah.
longer. It'll be some horrible crocodile thing.
Yeah, but for 40 minutes it'll be a pig. Right, Gertie? She says yes.
No. We've got to do something with it.
Do you wanna play patty cake?
You know it's not a real pig, right?
No, it's a real pig. Watch.
And I squeeze it to make it poop.
It poops.
See?
Well,
I'm sorry. I
Rat-
shouldn't be doing this.
Ratley steps in and he points at the pig and says, Is that the crook what was in here doing magicy things?
Yes.
This is Gertrude. You can call her Gertie.
But yes, it is.
So what were you guys doing? I got a random call on my stone phone, and I was gonna get up, but then like she's really cute, and so I didn't. And then Ganji called back and said, "Oh, don't come." So what were you guys doing?
we killed a bunch of things, and now
Oh,
we need
all
to...
of the alligators. I was gonna rush right in that
No,
door.
not those other things. A huge
Oh.
beetle. You missed it. You missed
Well,
the whole
that's
thing.
so weird because he said it's the very next door, and that was either the stairs or the alligators.
I
so.
said the next room. The
Yeah.
room next to this one.
Oh, I was gonna rush right into the alligator room. I'm glad you told me to stay where I was. That would have been a catastrophe. Oh my god, I should have turned you into a cat.
Speaking of that and killing things, we need to kill that thing.
Well, what was in that room besides bugs? Ooh, is
We
it
killed
little
bugs
bugs?
and more crocodiles. They were like ninja warriors.
Was it anything Gertie can eat? I'm sure she's hungry. I've been squeezing her to make her poop like every 5 minutes or so.
You think
If you want to throw her in a puddle of poison acid, go for it. Sounds like a good way to solve this problem to me.
No, I don't want to do that. What other options do we have? Where's Vandris, my favorite elf that was almost dead? Did his arm
There's-
fall off? Can I put it on a necklace?
Nope.
Probably the one with the sword.
He's probably triggering traps somewhere.
Yeah, sounds like Vandris. Where's my other favorite elf?
She's here.
Oh, I can't hear her per usual.
I look right over at Anya
I'm
when he's
here.
doing in there.
I've just lost a lot of blood.
Oh, I'm sorry. Lumi, I can't let go of my pig. Can you go fix that?
And I want to cast Cure Wounds at 4th level
Okay.
on Annulin.
Oh, shit.
Ratley walks up to Ganji and points at him and said, "You had the idea to just chuck him off the tower, right?"
Yes, but we have to make sure it's not still a pig when we do that, because otherwise they'll probably live or something. I'm not totally clear what the specifics are, but yeah.
I feel like that's the best option then. Just chuck him off. Give him a little heave ho. Send him on a magical journey.
29 Helphuses is what you get.
Wow.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, I was thinking, Annulin, that we could be double mothers to this pig, because you have a rabbit, and now that I've healed you, you kind of owe it to me, right? That's what I thought.
I could be a pig mother for 40 minutes.
Okay, awesome. So what are we going to do in the meantime?
Are we gonna leave these crystals up?
Well, yeah, if we take them down and the lightning goes away, they'll know we're here. Duh.
Do we have any sense that it's controlling the weather?
Make an intelligence check.
No, I don't. 10.
You really have no idea. It's shooting off into the clouds.
I am the brains
And
of
arcing
this
back out.
operation per usual. Right, pig? That's right. So what are we going to do? Are we going to go kill those alligators?
Shh. Vandris, can you get in here?
What's going on here? I'm trying to figure out what we're doing with these gators.
Shh. Roger that. I think we just need a
Who the
powwow.
hell is Roger?
We just need a powwow in here, and I think I'm not getting through to a certain someone, and I think she
I
may
wonder who
need
that
her
is.
favorite elf.
That's interesting.
I have a feeling that this one's gonna get ugly again. I already wore a skin crocodile suit, and I'm not really a crocodile guy, so I'm gonna let you handle this one, big guy, while I sit here and think about the crocodiles. Over.
Does he know I can hear that he doesn't want to come spend time with me?
I have a feeling she's gonna say it's because I don't want to spend time with her. It's not that. It's trying to get us to this crocodile room. Over.
Your arm is mine, elf boy.
When I'm dead, I promise you can have my arm.
Oh my god, everybody heard that. He can't go back on it now. Gonna
Just
have
make sure you also give a piece of me to Ganji. Thank you. Over.
one. He can have your pinky finger now. One
You
arm.
know I
That'll be good enough.
I can't res you from a pinky finger for a long time, just for the record.
That's okay. He put it on ice. Fingers should keep well. Thanks. Over.
Okay, fine. Why don't we sit right? Let's go out. Let's sit right in front of the crocodile door. We're going to
Okay.
rest for 40 minutes
Okay.
or however long. As soon as he
I've
shifts
been
back,
resting for quite a while.
as soon as he shifts back, we're going to open the door, kick him in, close the door, and we'll keep resting.
Well, I think that's a stupid idea. That's not the best way to kill an alligator with lots of power.
What do you recommend?
Well, so this was kind of my thought. We wait 40 minutes, everybody rests, and then Vandris goes in and gets me a little vial of poison. I'll feel really bad about it, but I know it has to be done. Gertrude, don't listen. So, anyway, what we'll do is we'll put some poison in her mouth really quickly, right? I have one more spell slot I'll be able to use at that time because my rod lets me do that. And then I'll make Dimension Door, and instead of going through it, I'll put it like 500 feet up or 300 feet up in the air from where we're at now, and then we'll just kick her through it.
Does it work that way? Don't you have to go through it? Or no?
Well, maybe. If I do, then I'll just ride my broom and hope nothing kills me. Oops. So that was one option. Are you going to say anything bad?
I'll let you do whatever you want to do. This is your pig, apparently.
Yep, it is. And ambulance, we're mothers.
Oh, I'm just gonna sit down and just start resting. I'm gonna start eating some like jerky or something.
Radley sits down next to you. I don't know how you do this all the time. I don't think a revolution will be this hard.
It'll all be worth it in the end. I give him some jerky.
What about this? I have another idea. We have a potion of diminution, which I think means small. So it's already a teacup pig, right? So it's really small. We feed it the potion in some kind of food thing, so like maybe bug matter. It'll really eat anything. Believe me, I've tried to put lots of things in its mouth and he's eaten them all. So we put something in there. It makes it very, very small. And then we put it like inside the stone crack, so then when he turns back into a man, he splats when he makes himself big again.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Aye. Go on.
Well, no, that was the whole thing.
Can we do that?
Well,
How long does the potion last?
Well, anywhere between an hour and 4 hours, but either way, I think he'll be stuck inside of the wall anyway. When he turns back in from a pig, he's still gonna get bigger.
Okay, do you have a crack in mind?
I don't know much.
Real quick, guys, save a little bit of that diminution potion. I really want to screw with Forgus next time we see him. Thanks, over.
I don't really know much about krakens or what that has to do with this pig. So no, I don't have a crack in mind.
Why don't we just take him along? Why not? Let's just go. Let's just move on.
I like Ganji's idea.
I do. Can we do the Dimension Door thing? Let's do that thing, because at least that involves actually killing it.
What is Dimension Door, by the way? What was the plan?
She feeds it poison to kill the pig. At the same time, Dimension Door's up with the pig. Drops it.
So it's got a poison in its belly, and then it'll hit the ground.
From 500 feet up.
300.
Oh.
300 feet up.
300 feet up.
Can you, after polymorphing the guy, how many spells do you have left?
I would have to use an action and my Rod of the Pack Keeper to regain a Warlock spell slot to do it. So.
And you wouldn't have any way back. I guess your broom.
My broom, that would be it. But if it's happening after a long rest, I should get 2 spell slots back.
A short rest, you mean?
A short rest, yeah. So I should have 2 spell slots after that anyway.
Alright, well, if you're fine with a random crocodile falling from the sky and dying, and hopefully nobody sees it, if we're fine risking that, I'm alright with whatever plan will kill this thing.
I'm pretty sure that people will see it. So the other thing that we could do is just throw it into the acid.
I don't know that that'll kill it. Throwing it off the tower at least makes sure it's not in our way.
Now, this is a really terrible idea. But if we have that immovable rod, so what if we, I'm holding her ears closed, what if we shoved it through her throat, she would immediately turn back because of the damage, but the rod would be going all the way through him, and we click it into place between something so he can't get out of it, and then he just stays there and dies. And then once he's fully dead, then we can click the rod and we take it back with us.
How is this any better than having him eaten by crocodiles? I don't understand.
Well, you can't guarantee the crocodiles are going to eat him.
They had barbs. on the doors. They were clearly scared of these things getting out.
Gertrude, do you like crocodiles?
I'm gonna use speak with small beasts to find out what she has to say.
How does that work?
You can just communicate through oinks and things with small beasts.
You can communicate. She can communicate general ideas too.
She doesn't like crocodiles.
Do they like pigs?
She hasn't known a crocodile well enough to know the answer.
She does not know what a crocodile is.
I'm gonna miss you. We'll do the
So-
crocodile idea.
If all 5 of us are here and it's just the one pig that could be an electric crocodile, why don't we just pinprick the pig to spur it back into crocodile and murder it all at one time?
Can we take it out in a round? I don't know that I want to take the chance.
What if it's magical, you know? So like me, I can go invisible and I can fly and I can teleport away and I can counterspell things. I can do all kinds of really awesome stuff. So what if it can do that and then it is not pig anymore and then it goes and it tells Krem or Orpheus that we're here?
I just think that even if he survives the first few chunks of these crocodile things, he might kill a few while he's at it. He might help us do our job.
Well, I'm kind of thinking, what if we go in there, or someone goes in there invisibly and actually feeds it to the crocodile, and then it'll be in the crocodile's stomach when he polymorphs.
If you'd like to do the honors.
No, I could never.
Honestly, why don't we just shove it in the bag of holding?
Yeah.
He'll just asphyxiate. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Can we just? I feel silly now. Can we just snap its neck?
Well, if you snap its
as a
neck,
pig?
but then he just turns back into the guy.
Oh, it doesn't kill it as a pig.
No. He has to take enough damage to kill himself as a pig and himself as himself.
What would happen if Rodick just chopped him in half with his axe?
Then he would turn back
It would
into
kill the
himself
pig, but it
with
would
his
turn back into the
accident.
crocodile.
What if I ate him? No, that would
Yeah.
probably hurt me more.
Yeah, I was going to say that might not work.
I like your idea. Somebody go invisibly and feed the pig to a crocodile, and then we see what happens.
Why is it always someone? Why is it always someone?
To be fair, you're not the one who can actually go invisible.
Well,
In the
So-
meantime, I
so
would
this
like
is
to take
the
a
thing.
rest.
Lumi can go invisible, and she can carry this pig because it weighs less than 10 pounds. So maybe she would do it for me.
Well, Godspeed. Lumi.
Lumi, I'm so sorry, Gertrude. Lumi, will you kill this pig for me?
Are we sure that the crocodiles is gonna eat one of Krem's?
Well, I hopefully they're not smart enough to tell that it's not just a random pig. But yeah, I also have that concern of we don't know that they're afraid of these crocodiles. They could just be the guards, and it's heavily fortified because that's the way to the King Krem's lair or something. It's not. It might not be the crocodiles that they're trying to keep out with the door.
So a movable rod it is.
I just don't know how tame those things are.
I don't think this guy is a good test of that. I feel like we should just.
Look, I'm obviously okay with you killing my pet. Terrible as all of you are for wanting to do this.
Well, then have Lumi fly him up and just drop him.
I could have her do that, I guess. That makes a lot of sense. It's actually probably better than me flying him up.
A lot safer.
Lumi turns invisible, carries the pig. When the pig transforms back, it's too heavy, so Lumi drops it, and he just falls and splats.
However high up she is.
However high up she can go in 30 minutes.
She flies 60 feet, and I'll have her just
keep going.
rush.
Keep
So
going.
She
Go,
could go
all the way to outer
120
space.
then,
Yeah.
up until he dies.
Yeah.
How do we calculate fall damage? What's the formula?
Well, at this point, he's going to be terminal velocity, so if that doesn't kill him, then I'm calling shenanigans on this game.
Agreed. He should splatter like a ripe cantaloupe.
Have Lumi fly him up all the way, invisibly, so they're both invisible, so they can't see it, and then when he turns back, you'll get your pig for the full time. You can commune with Lumi and talk to your pig, and then once he turns back, no one likes him anymore, and he sweats.
Okay.
Good plan?
I like this.
I need you to do this thing for me. When you drop her, don't drop her gently because she's going to be a crocodile thing. But while she's dirty, treat her well.
And I will hand the pig to Lumi to begin the ascent.
Goodbye, Gertie.
Lumi seems a little bit apprehensive about this, but she grabs the pig and it's kind of squealing and struggling, but she's like wrestling with it and like smacking it on the head. Okay. And then so she gets a hold of it, blinks invisible, and so you just see this pig floating. It floats through the bars and flies up into the storm.
I've taken my rest and rolled
Yeah,
my hit dice.
do we have...
This is happening.
Can we have a short rest?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You start taking a short rest, and not too...
Go ahead.
About a half an hour later, maybe a little bit sooner, you hear...
He's been late.
You just hear a distant Wilhelm scream, all smothered by the howling of the wind, and then you just see a very faint figure, a lightning crack illuminates this gyrating figure, and falls to the ground. And
I really wanted to fight that thing.
I really didn't, honestly, dude.
That was the most humane idea we came up with all night.
It really was.
Well done. Can we go on? Everyone?
I wish
Moving
I had
person.
another polymorph so I could
So-
turn you into a pig.
midway through your long rest, you
Short rest.
short rest, you all of a sudden hear incredibly loud echoing throughout, feeling every inch of the room you're in, and otherwise the loud booming voice of King Krem.
Uh-oh.
So, someone thought it was funny to poison the little display we had in Garhaven, and now Zocky's dead. Meanwhile, you freeloaders have been drinking my rum, eating my food. I want all of you, useless lot, going down and scouring every inch of the briars around the peak and looking for Vic the Vicious, who no doubt was the one that killed my precious Zoggy. And if I find out any of you here had anything to do or even whispered a word to any one of Vic or Ratley's crew, Ratley's like, me? I will make sure that you are personally escorted to my chambers. Go now, or you will be strung up and fed to my growlings. And it cuts out.
What's a good Allen?
I don't know, but it sounds like they're on the loose.
It's good Allen on the loose.
I'm not sure.
Well, they at least don't know we're inside, so well done, everyone. Are you alright?
There will always be more pigs.
The only thing that would make me feel better is the severed arm of a beautiful elf man.
I pick up my axe and kind of like scrape it on the ground so like a spark flashes.
You guys ready in there yet? That voice was pretty ominous.
I know. He mentioned me name.
You're pretty
We
good
gotta
at
figure out a
this.
way to get past these crocodiles. I think that's our only way out of here.
Well, I have one question though. He mentioned the Briar Patch. Is that where the hideout is? 'Cause they might all die.
No, we's down in the swamp.
The bar
Isn't
patch.
that the same thing?
No, that's the thorny crap we got to at the end of the tunnel, at the end of the mines, right before the tower.
Where you set up the dome?
Oh, where Zaki's body fell off of the
Yes.
cliff?
Yeah, about there.
And where the Salmon door is?
It's
Close
very,
enough.
it's very, very casual. They probably might not.
The point is they're probably not in this building, which is great news.
Yeah.
So we should probably keep going.
Okay.
So Vandris, what did you see out that door?
The one at the end, it looked like a makeshift, almost like a rookery. There was just lots of birds and vultures, but it wasn't very well held together, and it was actively crumbling. So I just kind of closed the door and walked away.
Speaking of actively crumbling, can we use some of this rubble to barricade the door to the downstairs and the door to the rookery if we're not going out that way? So that if they try to come up the stairs after us, they find it more difficult?
Well, we don't know,
But what if we need to get out quickly?
right?
I don't know if you've heard, but I can shape stone.
That would be a lot of stone to shape.
Anything in a 5x5x5 cube, my friend.
And I'll say that you finish your long rest.
Short
and
rest.
discussion. Short rest, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm saying long rest.
Well, okay, so we need to find a way up. I don't think we should do anything. Let's not.
Agreed.
We may have to go out onto the balcony. We have no idea if the way up is through the crocodiles or through out that door.
Just a thought.
But how dark was that room with the crocodile alligators in it?
It was fairly dark, but it was illuminated by the lightning.
Well, do you think that Annulin can use that thing that shrouds us in darkness and we can try and sneak by the crocodile alligators?
Do we want to do? Go ahead.
We could try.
I don't mind that idea.
Well, we don't know if that's the way to go. So I wouldn't mind sending someone to scout and look.
Yeah, you like to send people into dangerous situations while you just stand around doing nothing. And
I
that's
do.
cute and all, but I just lost a pig.
I'm sorry to ask too much of Lumi. She did just do an excellent job in a very...
Well, you want her to kill a bunch of alligators now, too?
No,
What is she, the animal slayer of the pixies?
if she wants to.
Madness! Madness, I tell you.
She could just go in invisibly and look around and see
Oh,
if
that's
there's a door
actually a
out.
lot better idea than I thought. Sure, that's fine.
Yeah, would you do that? That would relieve Vandris's growing...
Arm?
Well, no, that
Go.
comes later.
Okay.
How about do it?
Okay, sure. So first you want me to have her relieve Vandris of his arm and then
No.
I'm
Just
misunderstanding.
have it a look. Just have it. Give it a quick look.
Scout the alligators. Got it.
Right.
Lumi, will you scout the alligators?
She kind of looks at me and crosses her arms. You can tell she's not pleased. But, I'm going to attempt to send her in if the DM will let us. We'll have to open
Okay.
the door for her.
You have to open the door. You need a perception check, and then you need a stealth check for you opening the door, and a stealth check for Lumi as she goes in.
So it would be a 15 for my stealth check.
Okay.
You wanted me to roll a stealth check for her.
Yeah.
And
Ooh.
then she's also +3, so hers would be an 18 stealth while she's invisible.
Okay.
And then you wanted perception?
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and use that inspiration.
Much better.
What is this roll? Sorry.
19
Perception.
for perception.
For Lumi's perception?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, you open the door gently, and you hear the splashing, and the crocodile's kind of moving around, chomping at some things. And you hear the very faint flutter of wings as the invisible creature, the invisible Lumi flies in. As she is looking around with that perception roll, and she takes about 2-3 minutes to fly around, and she blinks back to you, drops her invisibility, and lets you know that there seems to be one doorway, but she tried to look through the cracks of all the rubble that had seemingly crumbled down on this potential previous doorway out to the balcony, but she wasn't able to find anything that she could even fit into. And it looked like there was nothing that she could see except beneath like this murky water was this shiny gold thing.
Well, looks like there's nothing in there at all. Not a damn thing. Except for there's a door with a bunch of rubble, but that's it. And the remains of a balcony, but that's it. And some murky water, and that's it. And some gold thing in it, but that's it.
Well, not definitive anyway.
Well, the rubble was so thick that even Lumi couldn't get through it, and she is itty bitty. So,
Is it something we could clear?
well, Lumi, is it something we could clear?
She seems to think that this is a huge obstacle. She's not sure, but it seemed to be very solid, not just like some kind of a little bit of debris that you could try to push away. She tells that she gave it a push and she couldn't move anything, so she's pretty strong.
It's true. Stronger than I am, that's for sure. Stronger than Rodak.
What if this shiny thing's a key?
I think she was saying that it was down in some murky water.
Could she go fetch it out?
She can't get through the door.
No, in the room. It was in the room she was just in.
No,
It's
she
in
said
the
it was
crocodile
through the
room.
door.
No, it's in the crocodile room.
Oh, Lumi, I don't understand you.
She was looking through this door
more
here.
Clearly. Was it in the murky water in the
It was in the
crocodile
murky
room?
water in the room, yes.
Oh.
That's not her voice.
Yeah. All right.
You can go in
Thank you
again.
for your service. You're doing such a great job. Just keep it up. You're just so useful.
I'm not sending her back in there. If she's eaten by an apicator, then I'm gonna have to spend like an hour trying to get her back.
Can you just pull
And
her back?
The last time, takes me an hour to do it, and the last time it happened, I made her touch this weird throbbing heart that had all kinds of psychic powers, and it completely fried her brain, and she was mad at me for 3 weeks.
I remember that. That was wild.
Yeah.
I also tricked Dobro into touching it.
Well, that wasn't as difficult, I think.
Much
I
funnier
miss that
though.
guy.
A horrible mind-bending heart, you says?
Yeah.
Oh,
It was pretty wild.
It's a long story.
Okay. Screw this.
Oh no.
How long do you think, Luke, how long do you think it would take me to get in there and back?
As far as, and she looks at you and says there's a lot of crocodiles around. And that she wasn't sure, it was that the water was dark and it was hard to see. I mean, it's not that large of a room.
So I am going to attempt to mount my broom.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
And use greater invisibility.
Okay.
To go in and snatch whatever thing is out of the water.
It's at the bottom of it's at least in the water somewhere. It's not like something that's out of the water. So it's not like all she saw was a glinting of gold beneath the surface.
So you may have to swim. Which
Well, then
could...
that wouldn't be a good idea because greater invisibility is only a minute. It just allows me to cast spells and stuff.
You might only need a minute, right? I don't know.
Vandress!
I'm right next to you.
Vandress!
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Vandress!
We can all hear you.
This thing doesn't...
What? Over.
Could you turn into a bat and go down there and fetch that thing as a bat?
So if I do that, I have to unpolymorph to go into the water anyway. because I'm assuming I won't be able to swim as bad. Never tried it. I'm not going to start now.
Shit.
And then I have to jump out, grab the thing, swim out, and then try to make it back here. I mean, it's not the craziest thing I've ever tried, but I might get swarmed by gators. That's it might happen. I could try to fly away. If I ran and jumped in, fetched the key, and I get out of the water, I might be able to fly away from the gators before they swarm me and eat me alive. But I don't really like my odds on any of those things.
Well, what if I made you invisible, then you went in, and then you swam invisibly down to get the thing, and then you came up, and then if you needed to use an ability, then you turned into a bat, and then you flew out.
Somehow I figured you'd have some sort of retort. Well, if I'm invisible, and I go in and I jump in the water...
So, but what if I make a couple of you invisible, and you guys go as a unit?
What could break invisibility?
You using a spell or ability, you, using a spell or an ability, or,
Well, then I'll do it. Make me invisible, I'll swim to the bottom of the water, I'll grab whatever's in there. Hopefully it's worthwhile. If not, you get to keep one of my arms.
Awesome.
It's a fair trade, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it just lasts unless you attack or cast a spell, so...
I won't be doing either.
So who wants to... Gang, who wants to go with him?
Probably not any of the heavy armor people.
Me.
I think that would be fantastic. Really, I'll be the only one going in the water. I just need someone there to get my ass out of trouble if things go south.
Okay.
I'll be near the door in case you need help.
I'll send Lumi in there in case one of you guys needs to be healed.
Let's bank on that one.
Okay. Done.
And so I'm going to cast it at a 3rd level.
Okay.
It doesn't actually matter. I'm casting it at a 4th level. I can't do it at a 3rd level. And I'm going to make both Annulin and Avantris invisible.
Okay, the elves disappear from view.
Stealth check.
Okay, stealth check both of you, your advantage because you're invisible.
I got a 22.
Okay.
24.
24. Okay. And with that, both of you invisibly creep into the room. And I need both of you to make a perception check.
For once, let me roll more than a 7.
I got a 16.
I got a 7.
26.
7? What do you give it, Anna?
26, sorry.
26. So, as you creep through, you see that there are more crocodiles coming out of the water, going back in. You're really not sure how many of them are in this room. You're approaching the center pool, Avantris, where you had seen the gold glimmering thing. It occasionally disappears from view as maybe something in the water is above it. And as you're approaching closer and closer and closer, Annulin, you see, you almost don't see it, but you see an enormous black shape beneath the surface of this murky water here. Like within 5 feet of the shimmering from the lightning as it illuminates the room.
Okay, so it's...
What?
It's like 30 feet or something.
So it's like, about here.
And how big is it?
So, if I had to draw said shape, it would be probably here. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see that. And you said it's moving?
No, it seems it's barely, like it's not moving at all. You just, like your perceptive eyes, and then the shimmery gold thing is about right there.
Can we tell how deep the pool is, or how deep that shimmering object looks like it is?
It looks like a little bit of a glint. It's probably a good 10, 12 feet deep.
Oh, that's nothing. No problem.
I'm gonna. Okay, so if I Rocky Talkie, I'm talk. Okay.
You're
never
talking.
mind. I
You're
don't
talking,
Rocky
yeah.
Talkie. I'm gonna back it out into the hallway and just tell the group what I saw and have them Rocky Talkie that to Avantris.
Okay.
So here's the problem, right? I can't see her.
Yeah.
Correct.
So you wouldn't know
I'm
any of
getting
that.
ready to. I'm getting ready to go.
Okay.
Guys, quick!
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
What?
I'll Rocky Talkie. I mean, if you can tell us, you can Rocky Talkie. him
As you
directly.
enter the water, Vantage, I want you to make one more stealth check from beneath the water.
Hey, sneaky snacks. Who could that be?
28.
28, and Annual kind of looks back, and it's as if Vanders barely breaks the water as the splashing from the crocodile swimming around. You dive in, and at the bottom you see that there's a bit of scum and muck at the bottom, kind of covering the shimmering gold. But you are able to see a square-looking, almost like a tablet.
Lumi is firmly attached to Vantage.
Okay,
by the
so
way.
she's holding her breath as
Yeah.
well, and reach down. As you go down and you pick it up, you look to your right, and you see the enormous, looming form of a deep, dark brown crook, huge and hulking, almost completely unclothed, except for just a ratty pair of pants, holding a large hook, keeping its nostrils very close to the water, looking around. You're so stealthy, it doesn't seem to manage you, as you're going to make a sleight of hand check to see how you can make this transfer.
I'm feeling real good about this.
Holy
Are you
I'm
feeling
gonna
lucky?
go back into the
Can-
room since they ignored me.
Well, because that would have been happening while...
Yeah. So concurrently, what are you
My
guys doing?
sleight of hand was a 23.
Okay. It zoops away, and this massive brute does not seem to notice you at all.
So let us know when Anulin would be back.
Okay, well, this would have been happening when Vantage goes in. So Annulin's back up, and she tells you guys.
Well, I mean,
You said you were gonna...
But she was doing
No.
it through the Rocky, right?
yeah.
So
If Anulin can tell us, she can use her own Rocky
Oh,
Talkie.
true.
because she was coming outside to Rocky us.
Yeah, I thought
So
you-
Vanders would have heard it. That's what I thought was happening.
Yeah.
I was coming outside to tell you to Rocky Talkie him because I can't talk in the room.
But you're not in the
Without-
room anymore.
But you're
Well,
not
she
in the
can
room.
jump
telling
back in
us.
while we're talking. She can immediately go back
Oh,
in.
gotcha. Okay, I just misunderstood. So yeah, I would have Rockied him then and been like,
Vandrus, if there's a big black thing and if it eats both of your arms, then I can't have one of them. So just be extra careful, okay? Annulin just told us that.
Yeah, my point was that I would tell you to tell him and then immediately go back so that you're conveying while I'm moving.
Okay, so they're radioing this, and you dart back into the room, and you see a very slight splash and a glinting golden tablet. You can see a single letter on it.
it would be invisible because he's
That's right.
invisible.
So you're right. You would just see a slight splash as Vandris, you heave yourself out of the pool completely drenched along with Lumi on your back. You have to dodge one of the crocodiles as it slides in, but you are able to avoid detection.
All right, I enter back into the hallway, and I drop the tablet on the ground and say, "Ta-da!"
Anulin, he's back! I don't know if she noticed, man.
So you
Would
know...
I have seen the tablet like float by my face?
No, it would have gone invisible because he was holding it. So you see the door crack open, you're probably assuming that's Vandris. So you're able to follow him out.
It is a K though,
Okay.
isn't it?
So
I just realized
the
that.
square
It's like
the
they
square
call it
golden tablet has a raised letter on it. You are able, as soon as it hits the ground, the muck and the scum in the waist of these crocodiles kind of sloshes off of it, and you see a large letter E
Oh, dang.
on it.
So where's the K, the R, and the M?
Puzzle time.
An E.
Oh, I bet they're in each one of the rooms.
Probably.
What if E
So I bet
stands for
there's one
something?
in acid.
And that Donkey Kong Country doesn't exist in Avantris.
Fair enough.
I can understand
That's-
half of those words.
That's a really good point, Rodak. What does it mean?
What does it mean? It's gold and it's an E. That's all we know.
Is there anything else on it?
Well, when I grabbed it, it went up to the top of my field of vision in like the third of 4 places. It's almost like there are 2 places in front of it and 1 place behind it.
I'm not much for letters, so I don't even know what that says or what an E is.
It
Her
goes
should
like
have
E.
me in her name.
No,
What a shame.
it's not a key. But
No, it's an E.
I want to turn it over. Is there anything on the back?
He said
You
that.
wipe some of the slime off, and it just seems a smooth golden back.
Well, it was worth a shot.
Put it in the bag of holding.
I put it in the bag of holding.
Okay.
Did you guys check to see if there's anything similar in the pools of poison?
No one stuck their hands in the pools of poison, Sylvie.
Oh, what if we put that dragon egg in the pools of poison? Isn't that where we found it? What if it hatches and then we can ride it?
Let's not do that.
Oh,
Let's just
speaking
leave
of
it in
which,
there.
is it dead?
I
Is it
check on the
still
dragon egg.
is it still a dragon egg?
It's still a dragon egg. It's still a
3
dragon egg.
years and counting, folks.
3 years.
The most classic of all memes.
Did we see any kind of glinting in the acid pools at all?
Not with the perception check that you rolled.
I'm gonna go and look at the center crystal, the big boy crystal, and see if I can see
And
anything.
I'm
inside
gonna
of it.
go into the acid room since I haven't been in there.
Investigation.
And I'm gonna sit and think about my life choices that I made that caused me to dive into crocodile pools.
And Vandris, you smell completely disgusting. You smell like as bad as the swamp that you guys
Just another day that it's wine.
dicked around in. The smell of just muck and scunge and crocodile shit, basically. You were covered
Yeah,
in.
that's about
And
par
rotting
for the course,
flesh.
you know.
And food, yeah, that's basically what it is.
15 for me.
15 for me as well.
15. So you look around, and Ganji, you see the large crystals arcing with a lot more energy. You see that same familiar beam that you've seen arcing up, but you are able to see that as you kind of you're investigating a little bit closer, that almost there is an arcing of energy that seems to go directly up the tower, almost along the stone, and ride along that side. Sylvie, you are investigating around the pools. You see no glinting golden plates, but you do seem to see something metallic at the bottom of each of these, and it seems to be a dull gray color as it's not entirely translucent, or it's
Opaque.
it's not entirely opaque. You are able to see into it. It is this goopy green viscous, but you are able to see through that there is a slight. Each of them at the bottom has a metal, seemingly circular shape at the bottom of each.
I'm gonna jump in one of the pools and grab it and try and get out and see if it kills me.
Okay.
Jesus.
You jump in. I'm going to need you to make a con saving throw real quick.
Ugh.
That sounds pretty good though.
No.
Oh.
14.
14.
I'm not there, am I?
No.
No.
Just me. Lumi's on Avantris.
18. 38 points of acid damage as you dive into the acid, completely submerging.
Shit.
And you manage to reach down and grab, and you realize you run your hand along it. There's nothing to grab, but your hand goes in deeper. You're realizing that these pools seem to be connected to a pipe of some kind, a metal pipe of some kind that is running down beneath the stone of this.
Okay. I will jump out of the pool.
And you'll use the rest of your movement for
Yeah.
this turn as soon as you realize that, taking that acid damage. And as you realize your leather armor, actually you notice has corroded away a little bit, so you'll take -1 AC.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Okay, and then for me, so I see the lightning bolts go up and go along the side of the upper spire.
Correct.
Okay.
I will just change it into my regular leather armor.
Can you use mending?
Probably not.
You could mend it?
I doubt it. Mending doesn't work like that.
Like it doesn't?
Not for acid corrosion and stuff, but I have my regular leather armor that I used to have, so I'll just put that on. And then I'm fresh as a button.
Alright.
Okay.
No more studded leather, but at least it's leather.
Can you bring in the E for me, please? I want to try into the electricity room. I want to try something probably stupid.
I come in and I pull it out.
Okay.
Hold on. What are you trying to do?
I have a bad idea, but I have an
full of
idea.
those tonight. Just go for it.
So in one hand I'm holding the E, in the other hand I just touch the central big crystal.
You rest your hand on the large crystal, and
That's what we call pulling a dobro.
can you also make a con saving throw, please?
That's gonna be a 19.
A 19. Okay, so you, as soon as you're holding this, as soon as you touch it, you are zapped with a lightning energy, and you feel yourself kind of suppressing it, but you're going to take half of this. 29.
Half of 4,000 is still a lot.
28 points of lightning damage.
Okay, so that's 7 points.
Yeah, I guess so. Jesus, fucking bronze dragonborn. So you feel yourself resisted, and also your bronze dragonborn heritage. There are lightning receptors and producers in your body, so you are able to take that damage a lot better than you would, and it shocks you, it zaps you back a little bit, and it doesn't really seem to do anything else.
Okay, well I wouldn't recommend doing that. I was hoping it would electric teleport me. I don't know. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Well, here. I'll take it back.
Okay.
I put it back in the bag of holding. Sylvie, where's Sylvie?
I'm hopping around all of the. I just changed into my other leather armor,
Sylvie's changed into her new set of armor,
which is -1 AC from what I was before, anyways. So it's fine. So I'm hopping around and just kind of giving the room an explore. Not really.
All right, come on. There's only one way to go. Let's just go.
Are you talking?
Let's go
to
outside.
me?
Yeah, so I'm trying to gather. I say that into the rocky top.
Oh.
All right, we've explored enough. We've touched enough things. Why don't we just go through the last door and go outside and find
To
a
be
way?
fair, that outside was a crumbling balcony. I'm not even sure that it goes anywhere. There was a door in the back of the crocodile room.
Yeah, but the door at the back of the crocodile room just went to a crumbling balcony. I don't think it actually goes anywhere.
It was a collapsed doorway that went to a collapsed balcony. Is my understanding of what you were saying.
Touche.
So, I think if we want to try to go and try to stealth through again, but I think at this point, they have to get up somehow. And maybe they use that rookery thing you saw outside. Maybe that's how they get up and down.
Or they could just fly to the top of it. Because they travel by vulture anyway. So that's true.
Yeah, and Krem always traveled by Zaki, but Zaki's dead, so...
Well, why don't we go investigate and see if there's another one of these? And I hold
Sure.
the K.
That's on E, actually. I can tell that dwarves went to public school, so...
What's public school?
Or
Is it just
not
like a
I went
like
to
a publicly
school.
all right, that's fine.
Okay, are we going outside?
It seems like.
It's a good guess as any.
Unless you have a better idea.
I don't. You're the ones that's killing all these horrible beetles and monsters and things.
Now let's go stealthily, and we'll try to see what we can see in the little extra outcropping.
Sure, that's fine.
Okay. Everyone's
I
rolling
like the
stealth.
stealth. Ah, I suck.
It's not so bad. It's
Oh.
not so bad.
Yeah.
Our
That's,
cameras.
that's a fucking 20 for
Hello,
stealth
camera.
at disadvantage.
Wow.
Our camera
Oh my
queen
God, I'm
has
getting
let us
seasick.
down.
Oh, sorry.
Our camera queen has let us down.
Uh, for the first time ever.
I know.
She's done so well for so long.
Okay.
I rolled.
I rolled 29, by the way.
A 29, okay.
I rolled an 8.
20.
16.
28.
28, okay.
Take off
So,
my shoes.
You all creep
PUBG
around
style.
and you look outside. I'm going to need a group perception check.
Yeah, rolled a 5 again. A 10.
13.
Did you say perception?
11.
18.
26.
Okay. The 6 of you look outside, and Vandris, Annulin, and Ratley now notice looming above them. You see the nearly crumbling turret rising up ahead of you, but directly above you seems to be another outcropping of a huge cylindrical turret going up dozens of feet. And you notice that there seems to be a very rickety wooden rope walkway that's very haphazardly attached to the turret ahead of you.
Way up.
Basically, the top of the top of the turret here is tied to a rickety wooden rope walkway, which then goes up to this huge, large turret. It's kind of hard to see where it's attached since you're directly underneath it.
Well, I don't see that, so... Alright, let's go, come on. And I walk up to the front door.
Right, he says, I think that's where we've got to go.
What? See, that wasn't that hard. We just had to look up.
Vandris, you notice something different. You remember seeing 4 huddled vulture shapes. You now only see 1 perched. The good party sees 1 perched.
Guys, there were more vultures here before. Is it possible King Krem has taken off and he's not here anymore?
Well,
Or that people are coming back?
well, I think if you remember when he was screaming as loud as he possibly could about Vic the Vicious, that he had basically told everyone to scour the area, so they might be out scouring.
That might be exactly the distraction we need.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we just have the one to get by.
Alright.
Well, so it's on the outside, right?
What's that?
It's on the outside of the little, like, rookery thing? Is this a building?
What? This is a building, a little building, a turret that goes up. You
So
know, like the little
is-
turrets in World of
yeah.
Warcraft. There's like the ramps going up.
Yeah.
But you can see that there are bricks that are falling out that make little windows, and there seems to be not much in there besides these rickety wooden planks going up towards the top, where all of this vulture nesting and perch material is.
So let's just continue on, and we'll get up there.
Okay?
How does that sound?
Sounds
Agreed.
good to me.
Yes.
Let's do it.
We work our way up the
So
little
you're all
maze tower.
stealthy. Okay. So you enter the room. There's a door frame, but no door. It's been blasted off who knows how long ago. You test the ramp a little bit. Seems to be a bit rickety, damp with the raging the rain of the raging storm. Whoa! Thanks, Sneaky Snacks, for
Aw,
cheering.
thank
You just cheered X.
Snacks.
Thanks.
But you find that it does manage to hold your weight. You creep and creep and creep, and you see that the final plank is opening up to or goes up to an opening in the top of this turret here. And who's in the lead? Just give me somebody.
Probably Annulin.
Annulin?
Yes.
Annulin, as you're in the lead, you see that same familiar vulture huddled as it's getting battered by this wind and rain. And you see but next to it, a smaller shape. You see a hooded humanoid figure with a cloak over its head, not too far beside, with a large leather glove and what seems to be a riding crop of some kind at its belt. Huddled up, kind of shivering, being battered by the rain along with the vulture beside it.
So he's facing away from us?
Correct.
Okay. I'm just gonna point at him so the group sees what I'm saying.
So I'll update the map here actually. Yoink yoink yoink. Boink. Boink. And then we'll just say that the party is Annulin. And then here's the opening here. It's a beautiful square, but that's you.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm just gonna, like I said, point. Are you guys like filing in?
Yeah, they're all filing behind you, correct.
Okay, so I'm pointing.
I'll just be. If he's like facing away, and it's loud, right? Is it like?
Yeah, it's loud. The storm is still raging just as hard. It seems to have dissipated a little bit since Zaki was killed, but it's still going very, very, very strong. And the wind is whipping. You can barely hear each other over when you're trying to whisper and speak quietly over the sound of the wind and the thunder and the rain.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of make my way towards the bridge and just investigate it to see if I could get an idea of how much weight it could support.
Make an investigation check.
That couldn't have gone worse. An investigation?
Yeah.
I got a 3.
Ooh.
It's kind of hard to tell. Make a quick perception check for me, Annulin.
I think I guess. Number 1.
11.
11. You do see, however, that there is this rickety wooden bridge or walkway, as it was. There's a few ropes for support. Goes up to a stone platform that comes out of the looming tower that rises up, and there is a stone door at the end of this platform that seems to be the sole entrance of this tower. And the interesting thing that you notice about this tower, it does not seem to have any kind of slits of windows or anywhere to fire an arrow from. It is completely solid all the way through.
But there's a door on the other side of the bridge.
There's a door on the other side of the bridge going to this tower, basically attached to the side of the keep, that goes up very high, dozens and dozens of feet. And you remember you seeing the side of the turret going up. You probably get the sense that there was another one of these on the other side from the bits of the rubble.
Do you have your red notebook?
Shit.
Can you grab it?
I know.
That might help. Okay, so this beautiful drawing.
So you guys are here.
There are penises in this drawing.
So we're where? Sorry.
So you guys are here. Here's the little turret. I mean, this isn't exactly to scale, but see, there's the 4 tiers here. And see these little things. These have all been. This is kind of like an original thing. This is not exactly in the state. You're on this one, the only one that's surviving. All of this has technically been destroyed. This one has also been destroyed.
Got it.
And so there's this large tower attachment on the keep that is connected by a rope bridge to this little turret. I mean, it's like the worst. I literally sketched it out just like as I was trying to formulate this, but you get the idea.
So
Can I see from where I am, like a lock or anything on the door?
It is hard from where you are. It's difficult to see, but it does give you make an intelligence check.
No, I'm sorry, 23.
23. Okay. It seems to remind you very much of the stone doors that were entering the stairwell.
Stone door.
The stone doors that were in the stairwell, the inner stairwell, at the bottom and the
got it.
and the top.
The
of
ones that were like anti-human.
Yeah. Or anti.
No, we didn't catch any of that. We lost all that.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So basically, the stone door reminded you, Annulin, of the stone doors that you went through to get in and out of the stairwell.
Okay, I don't remember what that was.
They were the anti-warm blood doors. The one where we had to do like the weird thing.
You'd like rub your hand in a certain pattern along the doorway to deactivate it.
We had to have Ratley do it because he's a gator man.
And did we know if Ganji could do it?
We were guessing that I cannot.
Okay.
Ganji would know that he's warm blood.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know I'm a warm blood.
Oh, you are? I didn't know that.
Technically, yes.
Dragons are warm blood. Technically.
Weird.
It's all that fire that we breathe.
And lightning.
That makes
And
sense.
lightning.
Okay, anyway,
Yeah.
off track. I am going to kind of shuffle my way towards wherever Ratley is in the group.
Okay.
And kind of tug him along with me, and I'm going to gingerly start making my way. I'll go first, but I'm going to step onto the bridge and kind of motion that he should follow me up.
Okay. And so...
Actually, how much does he weigh?
What was that?
How much does Ratley weigh?
He probably weighs like, I don't know, like 175 pounds. Maybe a little bit heavier, 200 pounds.
Woo, okay. Alright.
He's a dense gator.
He's
Crocodile.
and he's so small, I picture him like a little guy.
Can't knock that croc over with a pail of water.
I mean, he's standard humanoid size, a little bit smaller. He's like 5'6" or something, but he's not, he's not a huge guy, but he's not also like a Sylvie size.
He's stocky.
Yeah.
And thanks for all the encouragement of risk-taking, guys.
We've already had a lot of risk-taking. It's good.
They just want blood, man. They're out for blood.
It's like Misaki.
Chad is always out for blood.
Okay.
Alright, proceeding.
And so Ratley actually points at you and then he points at the guy that's sitting there. So
how big is the guy?
The crocodile's about as tall as you are, I'd say.
Okay, I'm going to make eye contact with everyone in the group. And then I'm gonna run up and like soccer kick the guy. Like I don't remember what that's called, but kick him off of the ledge.
Make an acrobatics check for me.
$15.
15. So you run out as stealthily as you can in the rain, and you slide in and soccer kick him. He lets out as his form tumbles off. You kick him with so much force, he tumbles off. The vulture doesn't really seem to notice you as he looks down at you, and he swoops down after you hear a thud, and the vulture and the guy there are nowhere to be seen.
Correct.
The vulture's gone too?
Yeah, chase after him.
Alright, we can speak
Does that
freely.
thud sound like a splatty thud or a thud thud?
sounded like it was very difficult, but you did hear a crack. He didn't fall that far, given that like you're not that high up, but it seemed to be damaged. You look over and you already see that the vulture is just like tearing into his dead body.
Oh Jesus!
Excellent.
Now, are we gonna
Okay, so
Go ahead.
sorry, Rhoda. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna start pushing Radley up this bridge again.
Why do I got to go first?
Because you're cold-blooded and lizardy.
Which one of those doors? Yeah, go on,
I
lad.
guess I should go.
I'm gonna cast fly on him.
Ah! He starts levitating into the air.
And just remember, if you get the pattern wrong, you'll most likely die. Good luck.
Okay. Oh, okay. How do I do this, Sylvie? What am I doing?
Just think about where you want to go, and you go there.
Door, and then he starts floating off a little bit rickety.
You got
And
it. You got it.
he flies over to the stone platform that's coming out from the door, and you see that the edge of this platform, Radley does.
I'm
whatever.
also gonna, because it's at 4th level, I'm also gonna cast it on Ganji
Okay.
since he weighs the most
Okay.
with his
Sweet.
armor and his size.
Thank God.
Um,
I was going to
so
ask
that
that
he
we
could
figure out some way
hopefully
to.
get across the bridge.
Thank you. I was going to ask that we figure out some way to make me not have to do that.
Ganji flies alongside these two
Yeah,
These two reptilian-looking guys
I'll go with fucking Radley. Let's do
flying
this.
through the air, and you land on the platform. And it's a similar style door.
Oh, I forget. I guess I might need to roll for something. Oh, jeez.
And-
Oh, I'm very rememberful, I guess.
And I like also like says the thing.
Rhoda, do
Okay.
you want to ride on the broom with me? Because you're also really heavy.
What does it look that rickety? Does it? How
Fabulous,
bad is
I'm gonna
It
go
look-
on without him.
It looks fairly rickety. Sylvie,
I'll take my chances.
you're on your broom? Okay, you mount on your broom and you fly up and you join them. You see Ratley finishing the pattern with his cold-blooded hand, and you hear that same sound of the as the door seemingly disarms.
Great job, Ratley.
Oh,
You
thanks.
can fly for another 9 minutes.
You did real great.
Oh, wait a minute. There's a keyhole here. Does anybody have a key?
No, but we have Avantris, so...
You do have that.
How am I supposed to get across? Are we just like taking our chances here, or is it dark? How dark is it?
Vandris,
pretty
are
dark.
you going to be okay, or do you need me to come get you?
I'm gonna try to fly across without polymorphing. I've never done this before. This should be quite interesting.
We can carry people while flying, right? Under the fly spell?
Yeah, but no time like the present to learn, Kenji, please.
Okay.
No, you
Then
go
Let's
for it.
just
I'm,
reread the user manual.
I'm thinking about the other person in
Yeah,
place.
alright, I think I got this. I think
I
I
would-
can do this.
You can carry whatever you can carry while
I
flying.
don't think about
Vandris-
the other person in place.
Vandris pulls up his hood featuring the 2 bat ears, and he grabs the sides, and all of a sudden it goes da-na-na-na-na, and he takes off into the air and flies. Da-na-na-na-na-na, and it flies into the night sky.
I'd like to land safely on the other side.
Okay, you land safely on the other side, leaving Annulin and Rodek.
Can I like grab onto Ganji's tail as he starts floating off?
See if you make a dex check, straight dex.
$22.
22, you grab onto his... Wait, Dragonborn don't have tails. You can grab onto his foot.
I know nothing about you.
Ratley has a tail.
Nothing about you.
We're all virtually strangers.
I love that.
Why don't you have a tail?
In my head canon, I do have a tail.
Okay, fine. Ganji has a tail.
I'm gonna grab his tail.
Dragonborn have tails now. It's fine. You grab
Ladies and
his...
gentlemen, it only took us 3 years to arrive at this point. We're still developing our characters. Bear with us. Bear with us.
You grab onto his tail and you Mary Poppins along along.
It's a fake tail. It's a gator tail that he wrapped around his
And
waist.
now
Yeah.
Rodek still has to make the tracker
I'm
using
gonna wait
the
until the
broom.
doors open, and then I'll just walk across this bridge. That's why it's here, right?
You know, I'm gonna be honest. I turn to the rest of the group and I say, my money was more likely on me dying well before Rodek ever did. But let's all hang on tight here and see what happens.
Yeah. Hold on.
Like-
Isn't that what he says all the time?
Yeah, normally I would go get him, but this does sound like a fun opportunity.
Rodek, you're crossing the bridge. I need you to make a dexterity check.
Is there like a little,
Is there
alcove
stone
at
of
the
any
end?
kind?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a stone platform out at the end that goes out for probably about 10 feet.
How old is this stone? What color is the stone? What does it taste like?
I rolled a 1.
Okay, before we rolled that,
4.
I was going to say that I was going to watch him and get ready to try to dive off and like fly down and grab him if he fell.
Okay, so Rodek is walking along this rickety bridge, trying to be as agile as he can, and you get about like halfway up, and all of a sudden you step way too hard, and the board that you're stepping onto completely shatters and splinters, and you're trying to catch on. Make a dex saving throw, please.
Saving throw?
Yep.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
He rolled
20.
well.
20. You fall through, but you manage to grab onto the rope, and you're holding yourself, swinging in the air. As a gust of wind comes. Make one more dex saving throw for me.
Can I try to pull myself up?
Yeah, make an athletics check.
Oh, natty 1!
9. 9.
That was your athletics check?
Yeah.
You
Holy crap.
try to pull yourself up, and you are
You're done, die.
you are struggling, and you're falling. So I need to make a dex check.
Saving throw?
Saving throw, yeah.
Oh,
my
another
God.
natty 1! Another natty 1!
We didn't lose Rodek.
It's
He won't
three
lose
rolls.
3.
Three natty
Rodek
1s
from the party.
in this series.
Okay, 91. There we go.
So you see Rodek trying to hold on desperately, heaves himself up. A gust of wind comes, and it slips out of his grasp, and he starts
I
falling.
jump out and try to catch him.
Okay, I need you to make a. What's your flight speed? I guess it's just the.
60.
They get a flight speed of 60?
He's flying, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just double checking, but yeah. 60
I need
feet.
you to just make a quick dex check for me.
That's gonna be.
'Cause I am
7.
also doing the
No,
same thing on the
I'm gonna use inspiration for
Okay.
this. Okay, that's gonna be a 17.
17. Okay, so you see Rodek fall. Ganji, you've gotten a sense of your flying powers. You dart after him, flying down, reaching down to grab onto Rodek. And I'll say with that agility check, dex check, you managed to grab onto his arm and heave him up slowly. And he can carry Rodek's weight while he's flying, right?
whatever weight he can carry.
Okay,
so.
Yeah, I think I can carry him.
Yeah, I think that you're strong enough to carry him. So you manage, just make a quick strength check for me so you don't run up him.
It's an 8.
Hey,
I tried.
Can I reach up and try to grab him?
You make an athletics check.
21.
21. You manage to grab firmly onto Ganji, and now you're Mary Poppinsing over to the door.
Thank you.
Unbelievable.
You're welcome.
Why do we have the dwarf? I'm not.
So,
Don't let go.
so the next time I ask you if you want to ride on the broom, what are you gonna say?
Oh, I had a little more faith in this bridge. I figured that huge crocodiles use this all the time.
You didn't answer my question.
I will ride the broom from now on, I promise.
Okay, great. I won't turn you into Gertrude.
All right.
Okay.
Rodek, I thought we lost you there for a minute, buddy.
I was hoping we had.
I thought I was gone for a minute there too.
It was something I might try.
You'd probably survive. I don't think I would.
Okay. Anyway, so we are sitting in front of a locked door, which has hopefully been disarmed of its traps.
Hopefully.
Locked, you say?
Locked, I say.
Not for long.
Okay.
I am going to check for traps.
Okay.
I would also like to use the wand of dispel magic, or the wand of magic detection to see if there's any other like magic on it.
Okay.
21.
21. You notice that there was a trap on this, but it seems as if Ratley has disarmed it. You do not notice any kind of additional magical enchantments
Cool beans.
on this.
I'm gonna pick the lock.
Okay.
Hold on, I threw my die on the floor. Okay, sorry, minor technical difficulty. 21, again.
21. This takes you a long time. This is a heavy stone door. You're not really used to doing this, since you would get the sense that a large iron key would have been used on one of these, similar to what the lockjaw gentleman that Sylvie fooled down at the bottom of this thing had used. But after probably about 10 minutes of working out in the rain, you manage to finally, and it slides open.
Beautiful.
Can we get inside, please?
After you.
I don't know. I'd like to hang out here and enjoy the irony that the closest any of us have come to death, our opponent has been a wooden bridge.
Bridge boss! It's like World of Warcraft all over again.
Flipping at her boss.
That's almost as undignified as Annulin getting eaten alive by rats.
That was literally the closest.
Well, I was almost stung to death by bees.
That was close too.
Anyway, let's go inside.
That third thing eat me.
I'm not flying anymore, and it makes me sad. So let's go inside.
We go inside.
Yeah.
So, you walk inside the room, and there's that same lever behind you. You see that this tower is semicircular, a relatively larger room, semicircular. It is dark, no windows. No, the only light that's coming in at this point is from the occasional lightning flashes behind you, as the storm is raging out behind you, and there's the same lever on the door to close that you had seen in the stairwell. And you see ahead of you that there is a platform, a walkway, a stone walkway that goes out. Goes out, and it's about 5 feet wide with a platform as well. And you see that there's a drop along this walkway in this tower of about 10 feet. And you see in front of you 6 different chains. And these heavy chains hang all the way. The ceiling is so far up and so many feet that it's really difficult to see. You can't really see the ceiling at all. It's that high up. It's dozens and dozens and dozens of feet going up, and it's very dark. And 6 heavy chains dangling from the ceiling, and you also see a single rope hanging, or rather 3 ropes hanging basically in between each of those chains.
So we walk in, there's like a drop? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So I'm not going to get the other map out here, but I'll just draw it out for now. So, semicircular room-esque, right? Kind of here, and then door here. And then there's a drop all along here, and then 6 chains, and then ropes. 3 ropes.
And we're coming from that door?
So we're like on a suspended platform.
You're on a suspended platform. It's solid stone all the way down. But it's only a drop of about 10 feet.
So we're in half of Cerebro. Is what I think.
I guess that's whatever that is, yes. Oh, no, Cerebro.
It kind of
Yeah.
looks like a pickle on the screen.
There you go. It's a pickle. It's a tasty pickle.
What's in the drop down?
What was that? You
Like,
look down
you said
and
drops down 10 feet.
it's all just stone from what you can see.
Are there any like markings on the wall or anything like that?
Make an investigation check. Or perception check, I guess.
24.
24. You look around and the walls seem to be shockingly smooth. It does look very old, but it seems to be completely clean of any kind of scunge or dirt or decay or anything like that. And as soon as Ratley kind of comes in and says, "So are we going to close the door?"
I suppose we should.
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
So I pull the lever.
Roderick pulls the lever. The door comes slamming down, and all of a sudden you hear coming from the ceiling, and 3 gushing pillars of this goopy green, acidic-looking liquid, viscous liquid, starts pouring down directly in front of you, starting to fill the basin.
I turn to Ratley and I say, "Are you working for someone? Was that intentional? That seems intentional."
I was just chilling.
And so as the viscous green-looking liquid starts pouring down, that's where we'll end the session.
God.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh,
Golfy.
Thank you.
I
Also
swear
known
something
as
now.
Al.
Thanks, Al.
Thanks, Al.
You're the best.
You the best.
We gotta play sometime.
Yeah, play D&D with us, man.
And so,
Hootsie!
Yeah, Hootsie! Show us your Hooters!
yes.
Yay, Rabbit! Thanks for sticking around.
Thanks, guys. Sorry that we had the technical difficulties. We are this
Yeah.
weekend, we're gonna spend some time to try to figure out our internet situation, see if there's anything we can do to improve it. It's
Maybe
We'll
calling
just
Yellow
buy a lot more
Verizon.
things is how we do it
Yeah.
usually.
I'm like, well, let's just buy more routers and a couple of webcams. Probably what happens.
And with that, I think
Check us out on
check us out on
Discord.
Yeah,
Discord.
we should
Join
do
our Discord. Come hang
all
out.
the other announcements.
Yes. Please like all of our social media. We're really active on Twitter. Come tweet at us. We love Twitter these days. And then Dice Bag giveaway. Tell all of your friends. At 200 followers, we're going to be giving away an awesome custom dice bag. I'm going to throw it on the camera again.
So if Sneaky Snack, I doubt he's still here, but Gryffindor, I think he's a Gryffindor, right?
Yeah, maybe.
We're giving away a custom dice bag of your choosing, any color, any nice
It's
embroidered.
really nice too.
This is a nice embroidered
Show the
logo.
inside.
This is an inside. This is Gryffindor lining, but it can literally be
I made it.
We have any of the Harry Potter houses. Hogwarts. Nikki makes them.
I've got,
anything
like,
you could dream of. You can,
I've got
you can
a
customize.
Marauders matte fabric. If you're like total Potterhead, Marauders matte fabric, Deathly Hallows fabric, Daily Prophet fabric, all kinds of fun stuff. And then
And
I
She's
special,
an incredible seamstress, so it's going to be very high
And I
quality. You have the
special-
Avantris guarantee.
I special ordered some D&D fabrics too, with like dice and beholders and dragons and all kinds of other stuff. So that's fun. But the big thing is, we had said that we were doing Fae on Monday, but one of our characters, Morning Frost, our lovely Derek, just bought a house. And he's finalizing like the signing and
He's
everything on
signing on
Monday.
Monday.
He's signing on Monday. So he is going to attempt to be able to be here for Faye. If he can't make it, we may be taking a week off from him. We may
Or
try to
another day.
postpone and for another day.
Stay tuned.
So
is the point.
join our Discord, follow us on Twitter, hang out with us so we can keep you updated on Faye.
Yeah. And tell your friends to like and subscribe.
Tell your friends. Tell everybody.
And
we're
with
gonna find
that,
somebody to raid here.
oh yeah, we're gonna
Oh.
raid somebody if you guys are gonna stick around.
Yeah,
we'll
a bag
find
of
somebody to raid.
beholding.
We're
That's
passing-
brilliant.
We're passing on the
love.
good cheer, and I don't know if there's any other announcements.
Is it Bad Girl or Badger Girl? Badger.
Badger.
It's Badger.
It's a badger,
indeed
like
badger.
as in like a badger.
Oh, I thought it was
Like
the
badger,
other thing.
gop, and turtle.
Well,
gop.
badgers are my favorite thing. One of my favorite things ever. So, Badger had an amazing thing with the beholder fabric. It's a bag of beholder.
Oh my gosh! Well,
of
you better win.
beholding.
You better win.
So we are going
Hex
to.
yes.
You know what? We're gonna raid the saving throw show.
We're gonna raid
the saving throw.
Instead of
Pass on the love of Avantris fam. Rep-
GGB. Oh yeah, duh. Of course.
So
it's
we have a
Badger.
countdown. Well, how long's the countdown?
it's whatever this bar. Anyway, thanks guys.
8,
We got 8 raiders.
8
people
raiders.
raiding you. Make sure to spam your hooters.
Spam your hooters.
If
Show
you got
the
hooters,
world your hooters.
spam your hooters.
Show the world your hooters. Don't hide those in a bushel.
No, never hide them in a bushel. Be proud of your hooters. Whatever that is.
We will see you guys.
See you guys. We love you guys.
Next week.